Chapter 251. In the northern desert city, a streak of golden light flashed by, traveling thousands of miles in an instant. Anyone with good eyesight would be able to tell that this golden light was actually a golden chariot with a speed comparable to a half-step soul formation realm cultivator. This chariot was made entirely of golden demon flames, and it was dazzling in gold and jade. The person controlling this chariot had to be at least a grand cultivator, and they also had to have extremely high control over flames. The only fourth revolution pill master in northern desert city was sent by Lu Sheng to drive the carriage for Ning Fan. On both sides of the carriage, there were 41 northern desert demon soldiers, including Yao Yuan, guarding it. What a golden flame chariot! Ning Fan praised. His words contained the prestige of a royal true spirit. However, it made all the experts of the demon race lower their heads at the same time. Their eyes were filled with an irresistible reverence. A royal demon of the true spirit tribe. In the face of such a demon king, unless one's cultivation was far superior or they had the same king bloodline, one would not be able to remain calm. Greetings, General Bei. General Bei. The demon general assessment has yet to be concluded. It's too early to talk about this title. Ning Fan waved his hand disapprovingly. He turned around and looked at the heavens path behind him. His eyes turned cold without a trace. It seems like there are a lot of flies that want to take my life. 100 million immortal jades and royal clan's true blood are very tempting. Ning Fan didn't think much of it. He stepped into the carriage. These assassins were courting death. From the outside, the carriage did not look very big. However, when one stepped inside, it suddenly opened up into a world of golden flames, with countless palaces and pavilions. The golden flame chariot was a heavenly abode magical treasure. It was gifted by Lu Sheng on behalf of the titled demon general. Because it was a heaven's grotto heaven magical treasure, the space here was flawed. While people could enter, they could not cultivate. This treasure was crafted by Cloud General Lu Daochen. In terms of talent, Lu Daochen was probably on par with Patriarch Dongxiu. If Ning Fan was not mistaken, this golden flame chariot seemed to be the chariot of the ancient heavenly court. Ancient heavenly court, Demon Commander Lu Wu, Cloud General Lu Daochen. Although this place is not connected to the ancient heavenly court, it seems to have some connection. Lu Daochen might be hinting at something by giving me this carriage. If I enter the prefecture, I'll know about this. Although I can't cultivate here, I can concoct pills. When Ning Fan stepped into the Golden Flame Palace, he did not immediately go to the pill refinement room. Instead, he went to the Spirit Augmentation Pavilion first. The Spirit Attachment Technique was passed on to the Yao clan, and the Inscription Technique was passed on to the Devil clan. As the younger sister of the Demon General, Lu Wanner had caught the eye of Yunjiang since she was young. Yunjiang took her in and taught her the art of spirit attachment. Furthermore, as an Earth Xian Spirit Augmentation Master, this woman had once created a set of Earth Xian middle-grade spirit equipment among the 9 divisions. She was considered a rather famous spirit augmentation master. The reason why she had left the prefecture and bid farewell to her master seemed to be due to some complicated reasons. Ning Fan pushed the door open and saw Lu Wanner squatting in front of the smelting furnace. Her face was covered in dirt while she was fiddling with the fire. She had been attentively adjusting the temperature of the fire for several days. Because this spirit attachment was for Ning Fan's, she had to be more attentive than before. Sensing Ning Fan's arrival, Lu Wanner let out a cry of surprise. She hurriedly wiped her face with a handkerchief and rose to her feet to welcome him. After squatting for several days, his legs were already numb. He staggered and fell down. A smoky shadow flashed by. Ning Fan took a step forward and held Lu Wanner. "What? You've worked hard. People say that women dress up for those who love them. You've ruined your appearance. Could it be that you hate me?" "Bah, I have been busy attaching my spirit to you for several days, and you are still making fun of me." Lu Wanner's wrist was held by Ning Fan, but she could not break free from his grip. Thus, she simply let him hold her. She wanted to wipe her face with a handkerchief, but she realized that the handkerchief was already in Ning Fan's hand. "I'll help you." He smiled calmly and gently wiped away the dust on Lu Wanner's face. Lu Wanner was flustered and hurriedly said, You're already a royal true spirit. As a member of the royal true spirit race, if the future ascendants of the true spirit race find out about this, they will definitely punish you. The hierarchy of the demon race was stricter than that of the human race. From the classification of nascent soul realm soldiers, divine transformation realm generals, void refinement realm generals, and void fragmentation realm sovereigns, it could be seen that the demon race attached great importance to bloodlines. They placed great importance on dividing demons into different grades and ranks. Ning Fan had awakened his blood for the second time and became a member of the royal family. 3 blood awakenings could even go one step above the royal bloodline. Such a person was not someone that Lu Wanner could afford to associate with. This was the value system of the demon race. I'm a member of the royal true spirit race. However, I'm afraid that even if I ascend to the demon spirit land, no one will welcome me and punish me. Ning Fan smiled bitterly. The Fu Li royal clan might look glamorous on the outside, but in reality, this large clan known as the true spirit race had been annihilated countless years ago. Ning Fan had no idea why it was annihilated. He also had no idea why it was cursed by the heavenly Tao. The only thing he knew was that his Fu Li demon blood was indeed powerful, but he did not have any backing in the demon spirit land. Unlike the other royal bloodlines, if you touch a member of the royal bloodline, there would immediately be a supreme demon immortal who would stand up for you. No one knew what Fu Li was. The Fu Li blood that Ning Fan had awakened was something that many geniuses who could awaken their immemorial remnant bloodline regarded as a ghost. If this matter were to spread out, perhaps no one would be willing to snatch this ominous demon blood from Ning Fan anymore. Lu Wanner was unaware of all of this. However, her heart was filled with ripples. It was like the dream of countless young girls, hoping that they would be chosen by a prince. He was a member of the royal family. He was an outstanding demon who awakened his bloodline step by step to become a member of the royal family with the help of his thin demon blood. The more she thought about it, the less courage she had to confess to Ning Fan. He let go of Lu Wanner's wrist and returned the handkerchief to her. Then, he stared at the metallurgy furnace with a strange look in his eyes. With his eyesight, he could tell that the metallurgy furnace in front of him was obviously different from what he saw in the outside world. The metallurgy furnace in the rain world could be used to refine magic treasures and spiritual equipment. The metallurgy furnace in front of him was only prepared for spiritual attachment. Countless characters of the demon race were engraved on it, causing the demonic power inside the furnace to be dense. Spiritual attachment was a secret technique of the demon race after all. The spiritual attachment of the human race was not as professional as the demon race. General Bei, I haven't asked you what kind of demon treasure you want to attach your spirit to. Do you have any suitable spiritual iron? If not, I do have a few types of spiritual transformation grade spiritual iron here. Lu Wanner remembered that when Liu Bei was in the northern desert, his natal demon treasure was an ancient green dagger axe. That dagger axe was not even a supreme grade one. It was just a high-grade spiritual transformation grade spiritual iron. It was a waste. However, if Lu Wanner wanted to attach her spirit to her lover, she would not mind even if it was a waste as long as her lover was happy. However, what surprised her was that Ning Fan did not take out the ancient green dagger axe. Instead, he touched his glabella with one of his fingers and drew out a blood-red lightning. This is, Lu Wanner's beautiful eyes gradually turned serious. This blood-red lightning gave her an ominous feeling of deterrence. If she was not mistaken, this treasure should be a whip treasure. Besides, its quality seemed to have reached the high grade of supreme grade. Damn Liu Bei. He really hit it well. He actually didn't tell me about such a powerful whip treasure. Is he treating me as an outsider? Lu Wanner's eyes were slightly disappointed. However, after taking a closer look at the whip treasure, a hint of surprise gradually appeared in her eyes. The true form of this lightning is the dragon tendon of the immemorial lightning dragon. Liu Bei, did you kill the clansman of the immemorial lightning dragon? This is a great crime. How could you be so reckless? All of her small dissatisfaction turned into worry for Ning Fan at this moment. Her concern warmed Ning Fan's heart. He patted her head gently. Don't be afraid. I haven't killed him yet. I just extracted his dragon tendon. Even if I kill him, so what? So what if I extract the dragon tendon from a carp? So what if I kill Li Ban? He was not afraid, but Lu Wana was. She looked at Ning Fan solemnly and instructed him like a housekeeper. Remember, never ever kill an immemorial lightning dragon. This true spirit clan holds grudges the most. However, after thinking about it carefully, Lu Wana felt a little doubtful. This dragon tendon clearly belonged to a divine transformation realm demon general. However, there shouldn't be any immemorial lightning dragon with the cultivation base of a demon general in this place. Who did he extract this dragon tendon from? Moreover, this Liu Bei already has the strength to extract the dragon tendon of a demon general? She took the whip treasure from Ning Fan's hand. Immediately, her beautiful eyes were filled with disbelief. Then, a hint of passion gradually rose in her eyes. The immemorial star system. Is this an immemorial divine weapon? Lu Wana's dream was to attach her spirit to an immemorial divine weapon. However, this item was too precious. Within the 9 divisions of the second world, no one had such a divine weapon. Unless one was a demon general from the demon spirit land of the heavenly demon world who had awakened the immemorial demon veins and had a strong background, they would only be able to forge an immemorial divine weapon if they could get their hands on an immemorial star system. How did Liu Bei get his hands on an immemorial star system? Lu Wana stood on her tiptoes and moved her face closer to Ning Fan. She was very, very close. Their breaths were on each other's faces. It was as if she wanted to see how many things Ning Fan was hiding from her. I can't see through him. I can't see through him. Holding the lightning whip in her hand, Lu Wana studied it carefully. However, there was a hint of heartache in her eyes. Ning Fan asked. That trace of heartache did not escape his notice. Miss Wana seems to have some opinions about the refinement of this spirit-shattering whip. The spirit-shattering whip. Shattering one's primordial spirit. What a domineering divine weapon. The craftsmanship of the person who created it is even more exquisite and peerless. One feels ashamed of her own inferiority. I really want to meet the senior who created this treasure. However, Lu Wana commented. But Ning Fan was stunned. After obtaining the memories of ancient chaos, his treasure refinement level was at least comparable to a void fragmentation realm old monster. It was quite appropriate for Lu Wana to describe such a high level of treasure refinement as exquisite and peerless. However, Lu Wana's sudden change of tone made Ning Fan faintly feel that something was amiss. He seemed to have overlooked something regarding the refinement of an immemorial divine weapon. But why didn't General Bei's spirit-shattering whip be strengthened with a spirit seal? Spirit seal. Ning Fan was surprised. Take out your real ancient dagger and take a closer look. Lu Wana smiled proudly. Even though Ning Fan was strong, there were still things that he did not understand. Ning Fan patted his storage pouch and took out Liu Bei's high-grade ancient dagger to study it carefully. This ancient dagger was just a high-grade ancient dagger. He did not pay attention to it at all before this. However, when he studied it carefully now, he faintly felt that this ancient dagger seemed to be a little special. Even though it was only a peak high-grade ancient dagger, its destructive power seemed to be slightly stronger than ordinary high-grade ancient daggers. Ordinary people would not be able to sense it. Only those who were proficient in the refinement technique would be able to sense it. Ning Fan did. It's here. Ning Fan pointed his finger at the tip of the ancient dagger and channeled his demon power into it. At the tip of the dagger, 3 mysterious ancient demon runes slowly emerged. Ning Fan recognized these 3 demon runes as he had learned them in the scripture tower. The first rune was wind. The second rune was sharpness and the third rune was speed. It was these 3 demon runes that made the ancient dagger slightly stronger than ordinary peak high-grade ancient treasures. So this is the spirit seal? Ning Fan's eyes lit up. Originally, he was curious why each of the demon runes was like a talisman formation and he would need to read a thick book to learn a single word. Now, he understood. It was because the demon runes could be used to refine treasures, augment spirits, set up formations and kill people. The 3 ancient demon runes could be turned into spirit seals, which would increase the might of the ancient dagger by half. If there were 50 of them, this ancient dagger would be a supreme-grade treasure. If there were 100 of them, this ancient dagger would be a mid-grade supreme-grade treasure. If there were 10,000 spirit seals, this ancient dagger would be a profound heavenly spiritual treasure. So, this is the treasure refinement technique of the demon race. When he thought about it carefully, the spirit seal technique seemed to be very similar to spirit augmentation. However, it did not use spiritual iron but demon runes. This was the treasure refinement technique of the ancient demon race. It was completely different from the human race. You can actually recognize the location of the spirit seal. Your treasure refinement technique is very high. Lu Wan'er stared at Ning Fan in surprise. If he is proficient in the treasure refinement technique, why doesn't he know the spirit seal technique of the ancient demon race? If he doesn't know the treasure refinement technique, why can he identify the location of the spirit seal technique with just a glance? I can't see through him. I can't see through him. In Lu Wan'er's eyes, Ning Fan was as mysterious as the starry sky. However, she did not know that the treasure refinement master that she longed to meet was right in front of her. Chapter 252. The hand seals of the spirit seals are all in this jade slip. It was personally written by Wan'er. If you want to learn it, take it. Lu Wan'er took out a jade slip from her storage pouch and handed it to Ning Fan. Her face immediately turned red when she accidentally touched Ning Fan's palm. She averted her gaze and tried to talk about something else. By the way, I wonder what kind of spirit iron General Bei wants to add to this whip. This piece. Ning Fan took out a piece of black spirit iron and passed it to Lu Wan'er. Her beautiful eyes flashed. Void-grade spirit iron. Mortal void realm ability, absorption technique. Even titled demon generals don't have this grade of spirit iron and you actually have it. How about it, Miss Wan'er? Do you have the confidence to add the absorption technique to this whip? Not a problem. Lu Wan'er pursed her lips. This spirit-shattering whip was already a high-grade supreme-grade spirit iron. It's not going to be easy to attach it to a void-grade spirit iron. She might have to spend a lot of effort to apply it on the whip. However, this was the only thing that Lu Wan'er could do for Ning Fan. She did not want to reject him. Even though 7 apricot cities ink like water was attached to the sword, the separation slayer at that time was just a low-grade flying sword after all. The difficulty of attaching the spirit this time was definitely not comparable to the first time. Thank you, but don't force yourself too much. Magic treasures are dead objects after all. It's not worth it to damage yourself for a dead object. Ning Fan saw through Lu Wan'er's thoughts. He stroked her hair and left with a smile. Only Lu Wan'er was left beside the smelting furnace. Her face was burning hot. Holding the spirit-shattering whip, her heart became even more determined. It's not worth it or not. It's only whether I'm willing or not. In the pill refinement room, Ning Fan sat cross-legged on a cushion. However, he did not start concocting pills immediately. Instead, he touched his glabella and took out the Separation Slayer sword. Along the way, he had killed many people to sharpen his sword light. The Separation Slayer sword was barely a low-grade supreme-grade treasure. It was still far from reaching the mid-grade. A magic treasure of this grade could not harm a spirit-severing realm expert at all. Spirit-severing realm, immemorial demon veins. Ning Fan had a premonition that he would have to face many immemorial demons like Li Ban in the upcoming battle. If he didn't have a suitable immemorial divine weapon, he would be at a great disadvantage. The soul-shattering whip used very few immemorial stars. The only thing it was good at was its ability to shatter a soul. With the addition of the absorption ability, this treasure would definitely be able to absorb the enemy's magic power in between attacks. It was extraordinary, but the destructive power of the treasure itself wasn't high. The purpose of the whip was to bind, plot, and whip all living beings. The purpose of the sword was its sharpness. It could cut through thousands of images and illusions. The starlight sword shadow in Ning Fan's hand slowly rotated. After Ning Fan exerted his palm force, it turned into a long sword that looked like water. Separation Slayer, Separation Slayer. Your significance is the deepest and the heaviest. You are my first immemorial divine weapon. You are my first immemorial divine weapon. You are the weapon that I obtained after challenging fate for the first time. Ning Fan took out the jade slip and pressed it against his glabella. Immediately, a graceful female voice sounded in his divine sense, imparting the finger technique of the spirit seal. After a long time, Ning Fan put away the jade slip and looked at Separation Slayer with contemplative eyes. It wasn't difficult to learn the finger incantation of the spiritual seal. It was just a nascent-level intermediate demonic art. What was difficult to learn was the ancient demon words that formed the spiritual seal. Each of the ancient demon words was a set of talisman formations that contained great divine power. The number of characters that Ning Fan had learned was only 200. Each spiritual seal was formed by combining the main demon words with a different number of secondary demon words. There were only 3 types of spiritual seals that could be completely combined from these 200 words. Firm, fire, sharpness. Firm, spiritual seal could increase the defense of a magical treasure. Fire, spiritual seal could increase the power of a magical treasure. Sharpness, spiritual seal could increase the sharpness of a magical treasure. Ning Fan's eyes flashed. The most suitable thing for the Separation Slayer was its sharpness. The sword didn't need any fancy divine power or complicated manipulation methods. It only needed to be strong enough to slash the enemy. As if he had made up his mind, he immediately uttered a word and took out the Separation Slayer. He formed a hand seal and drew a few ancient demon words on the body of the sword. Sharpness, spiritual seal was formed by the word sharpness and 11 secondary demon words. There was a total of 312 strokes. Ning Fan felt that this stroke of his had consumed 60 years' worth of demon power, and all of it had turned into the power of the spiritual seal. He thought to himself that this technique of attaching spiritual seals was really not done by mortals. A single word, sharpness, required 312 strokes. Only the nascent queen demon race who had at least 312 units of demon power would be able to inscribe such a spiritual seal on a magical treasure. Moreover, every time they inscribed a spiritual seal, they would need to rest for a long time and circulate their spiritual chi in order to fully recover their demon power. Ning Fan's fingertips were shaky. He failed after inscribing 97 strokes. He was silent for a moment, thinking about the finger technique, and immediately inscribed the seal again. This time, he inscribed a total of 276 strokes before he failed. He seemed to have understood something and inscribed the seal again. The third time, he succeeded. When the sharpness spiritual seal turned into mysterious patterns and attached to the body of the Separation Slayer, Ning Fan could clearly feel that the body of the Separation Slayer trembled. It was just the power of a single word, but it seemed to have added 60 years' worth of sword power to the Separation Slayer. Interesting. If I inscribe 10,000 sharpness spiritual seals on the Separation Slayer, this sword can be upgraded to a spiritual treasure. The sharpness of this sword is enough to break the void and kill a spirit-severing realm expert. Ning Fan took a deep breath. Traces of demon power turned into spiritual seals and inscribed them on the Separation Slayer. 2, 3, 4. Ning Fan's finger technique became more and more skillful. Of course, it was just the mastery of the word sharpness. After inscribing 24 spiritual seals, Ning Fan's demon power was exhausted. He exhaled a mouthful of turbid chi and took out a pill to recover his demon power. One day later, his demon power was fully recovered and he inscribed spiritual seals on the Separation Slayer again. 25, 26, 27. After inscribing 49 spiritual seals, his demon power was depleted. Ning Fan realized that the more spiritual seals he had, the harder it was to inscribe them. He took a pill to regulate his breathing. The next day he inscribed spiritual seals again. Day after day, the golden flame chariot was on its way. The flies behind the chariot were tailing it. Lu Wan Air was attaching her spiritual treasure to her magical treasure while Ning Fan was inscribing spiritual seals. On the 5th day, the number of spiritual seals reached 114 and the Separation Slayer broke through to the mid-supreme grade magical treasure. On the 14th day, the number of spiritual seals reached 328 and the separation slayer broke through to the high supreme grade. On the 65th day, the number of spiritual seals reached 1547 and the separation slayer broke through to the peak supreme grade. On the 154th day, the number of spiritual seals reached 7455 and the separation slayer became even sharper than the ordinary profound sky incomplete treasures. 5 months. For 5 whole months, Ning Fan had consumed all the recovery pills given by Su Rushan just to refine a single treasure. However, Ning Fan was barely able to inscribe the 7456th spiritual seal. Even if he managed to inscribe it, it wasn't perfect. Presumably, it was because his demon power had only reached this realm. The inscribing of spiritual seals required the demon power of the person who inscribed it to be extraordinary. Ning Fan's eyes flashed as he looked at the starlight longsword in his palm. This sword was very sharp. After being strengthened by 7455 spiritual seals, this sword was even better than the ordinary profound sky incomplete treasures. Because only the word sharpness was inscribed on it, even the sharpness of a true spirit rank flying sword might not be comparable to the separation slayer. Just by placing it flat on his palm, the edge of the sword flashed with a sharp light, piercing through the hollow space, creating a crack. Ning Fan waved the separation slayer and made a gentle slash. The hollow space in front of him was cut open by an ordinary sword, separating into 2 sides. It was pitch black. What a sharp sword! With this sword, even if Yu Lingkong's physical body is at the 2nd level of the Jade Life realm, I can still break her defense with a single slash. If it was an ordinary cultivator, they would never just focus on increasing the sharpness of the flying sword and neglect the other factors such as speed, durability, and the ability to change their abilities. Ning Fan did not consider speed and abilities because the separation slayer was not a flying sword. He was also not worried that the separation slayer would break because it was not sturdy enough. This was a sword that was completely refined from the immemorial star iron. It could be defeated, but it could not be broken. Ning Fan was extremely satisfied with the result of 5 months of inscribing. A dot of separation slayer turned into starlight and went back into his glabella. After scanning the area with his spirit sense, he found that Lu Wan was still attaching her spirit to the spirit-shattering whip after 5 whole months. Ning Fan frowned and felt slightly worried. Is attaching a void rank ability to a supreme grade treasure so difficult? He heaved a sigh of relief when he sensed that Lu Wanner's aura was still present. In 5 months, the Golden Flame Chariot had flown 240 million miles away from northern Desert City. However, it was still 500 million miles away from the Luo Yun Prefecture. As such, he could only concoct pills for now and wait for Wan to come out of closed-door cultivation. Condense. In the pill refinement room, Ning Fan made a grabbing motion with his hand and 2 illusory pill cauldrons appeared. One was filled with moisture, while the other was filled with demonic energy. Cauldron of Divine Will. It was a necessary technique for a 5th revolution pill master. The first was the Cauldron of Rain Will, and the second was the Demonic Will of Demonic Mountain. The Mountain Devil intent was a few times stronger than the Rain intent. However, Ning Fan shook his head. With a point of his finger, the mountain cauldron was destroyed. Then he stretched out his hand and the rain cauldron fell on top of the sea of golden flames. Although the mountain will was strong, its demonic nature was heavy. It was not suitable for alchemy. On the contrary, although the rain was weak, it was extremely nourishing, making it extremely suitable for crucible transformation realm alchemy. There were 4 types of 5th revolution pills that he needed to concoct. Appearance restoration pill, separation and reunion pill, general breakthrough pill, and profound blood pill. Fortunately, all 4 of them were low-grade 5th revolution pills. With Ning Fan's current pill refinement technique, he was able to concoct them. However, this was his first time concocting a 5th revolution pill. Considering the need to accumulate experience and fail, Ning Fan did not start with the appearance restoration pill. Instead, he started with the separation and reunion pill, which had the most medicinal ingredients. The medicinal ingredients for this pill were enough to concoct it 11 times. Ning Fan allowed 10 failures. In order to reduce the time required to concoct each fifth revolution pill, Ning Fan waved his palm and took out the green luan flame. Now that he had 2 types of earth flames and 3 types of heavenly frost in his body, he no longer needed to look for a cold place to devour the earth flames. Because there was one more type of heavenly frost in his body, it was extremely cold. He needed the 3rd type of earth flame to balance the cold power. After devouring the green luan flame for half a month, Ning Fan's body remained motionless as if he was meditating. Half a month later, his eyes opened and his aura force fluctuated. His magic power began to increase rapidly. With his current cultivation base, devouring the green luan flame was enough to convert 1/3 of its fire power into magic power. 675 units of magic power. After increasing it by 340 units, it reached 1,015 units. Improving his magic power was not his main goal. Thus, he did not refine the geocentric nether milk. His goal was to use the 3 types of earthly flames and 3 types of heavenly frost to form a gray yin-yang flame to refine pills. As such, his concoction speed was 6 times faster than an ordinary 5th revolution pill master. According to his estimation, even if he refined the separation and reunion pill, it would only take a month. Out of the 11 sets of medicinal ingredients, Ning Fan failed 8 times. On his 9th attempt, he concocted a half-finished pill. Instead of feeling disappointed, he was satisfied. After 9 attempts, he had a vague understanding of the concoction of a 5th revolution pill. There were 7 sets of ingredients for the general breakthrough pill, and he had failed twice. On his 3rd try, he had concocted a defective pill. He had only failed once to refine the mysterious blood pill. The 2nd time, he had directly refined a pill that barely passed. Finally, there was the face restoration pill. He failed once and concocted an incomplete pill. After 3 months of failure, Ning Fan had enough experience in concocting pills. He repeatedly pondered, and when he was confident enough, it was time to start refining pills. On the 4th month, the separation and reunion pill was formed. On the 5th month, the general breakthrough pill was formed. On the 6th month, the abstruse blood pill was formed. On the 8th month, 2 face restoration pills were formed. After 8 months of pill concoction, Ning Fan could finally become a qualified low-grade 5th revolution pill master. However, after 8 months of hard work, Ning Fan helplessly realized that the improvement in his pill concoction technique was negligible. If he wanted to raise his pill concoction technique to the intermediate grade, it would definitely be impossible without tens of years of hard work. There was less than a month left until he reached the province. Ning Fan kept the 5 pills and stretched his muscles. Sounds of bones colliding could be heard. Is this the so-called cultivation has no time? 5 months to refine treasures and 8 months to concoct pills. The life of a cultivator is really boring. The promise of 5 months has already passed. I wonder if Su Qiuling is worried about me. There are still 30 years left before the sword breaks in her body. Her life is temporarily fine. He did not immediately summon Feng Nu and Cha Nu to restore their appearance. The face restoration pill had to be taken along with a medicinal bath. As the 2 ladies were demons, there were a few types of spiritual herbs that needed to be replaced with demonic herbs. Fortunately, demonic herbs were not that rare and could be easily bought in the province. He pushed the door open and scanned the surroundings with his spirit sense. Surprisingly, Luan Air was still in seclusion. However, the fluctuations of magical treasures in the refinement room became more and more intense. Is it about to succeed? Ning Fan did not dare to enter the refinement room without permission in case he disturbed Luan Air. However, after a few days, Ning Fan could faintly feel that Luan Air's qi, which was originally normal, was rapidly weakening during the few days when the spirit attachment was about to succeed. Ning Fan's eyes darkened. How could he not know that Luan Air was sacrificing her blood to the treasure at the last moment? The commotion in the refinement room gradually calmed down. The door opened and a pale and haggard lady in purple robes walked out. 1 year and 3 months of spirit attachment was a huge consumption for a mid-nascent soul realm cultivator like her. Not only did she attach the absorption ability to the spirit-shattering whip, She also attached the Mortal Void Realm Lightning Spirit ability to increase the destructive power of the Blood Lightning Nascent Shattering Whip. She did not have any Mortal Void Realm Spiritual Iron. However, from the absorption of the Spiritual Iron, she could tell that Ning Fan's standards were too high and he looked down on Divine Transformation Realm Spiritual Iron. She only had 3 pieces of Divine Transformation Realm, Lightning Spirit, Spiritual Iron. Thus, she used the secret technique passed down by Yun Jiang, Spirit Ascension Technique. She sacrificed her own blood and extracted 3 traces of Lightning Spirit and fused them with her blood. Then, she forcefully ascended her spirit and attached the second divine ability to the Mortal Void Realm. This divine ability was obscure and difficult to learn. The success rate was low and it would also harm her body. However, she did not care about it. With her spirit attachment technique, it was her first time using Divine Transformation Realm Spiritual Iron to ascend her spirit to the Mortal Void Realm. Moreover, it was her first time trying to attach a second divine ability to a spiritual equipment. That was why she wasted a year's time. She might as well succeed, however, because her body was too weak, she could not even maintain her human form. 4 white foxtails could be seen under her purple dress. She held the spirit-shattering whip as if she was holding the most precious treasure. She pushed the door open and went out. However, she did not expect to see Ning Fan waiting outside. "Why are you here?" Lu Wan-er smiled sweetly and passed the spirit-shattering whip to Ning Fan, expecting him to praise her. However, Ning Fan's expression darkened and he reprimanded her. "Why are you so reckless? Didn't I tell you that magic treasures are just inanimate objects? It's not worth it to damage yourself for a magic treasure." In ancient times, there were cultivators who threw themselves into the furnace fire to refine Ganjiang and Mo Xie's swords. From Ning Fan's point of view, it was not worth it. Today, Lu Wan-er sacrificed her own blood and effort for the spirit attachment technique of the spirit-shattering whip. Lu Wan-er's heart ached. She sacrificed her own blood and effort just for Liu Bei's spirit attachment technique. In the end, what she got was not praise but reprimand. However, as soon as this feeling rose in her heart, it was instantly replaced by shyness. She let out a soft cry and helplessly realized that she was carried by Ning Fan and brought straight to the bedroom. Intentionally or unintentionally, Ning Fan's hand touched her foxtail, causing her delicate body to tremble and feel limp and powerless. "Liu Bei, don't do it here. With my current body, I can't bear it," she begged. However, there was a hint of expectation in her heart. "Bear it?" Ning Fan was so angry that he laughed. "When your body recovers, there will be a day where you can bear it. We'll talk about this in the future. Now, your only task is to recuperate. Cultivate back the blood and effort that you've lost. If you don't replenish it in time, not only will it harm your lifespan, but it will also greatly affect your cultivation base. I'll bring you to rest." Ning Fan wrapped his arms around Lu Wan-er and hugged her even tighter. He took a step forward and turned into a wisp of smoke, appearing in the bedroom of the Golden Flame Palace. He took off his embroidered shoes, placed a soft mattress on the bed and covered it with a thin blanket. Lu Wan-er was like a shy little fox. She curled up in the blanket, revealing only her eyes. Half of her burning face was also hidden under the blanket. She was hugged by Ning Fan. Moreover, her foxtail, which was the most secret and sensitive part of her body, was touched by Ning Fan. When she thought about it carefully, she realized that the scolding that was originally filled with grievance was actually a sign of concern. "Liu Bei is concerned about me. That's why he scolded me. He didn't even look at the magic treasures because he is concerned about me." Lu Wan-er's heart thumped wildly. Idiot. He didn't even look at the 2 types of magic treasures that had the spirit attachment technique, but he only looked at an ugly girl like me. "Idiot," Lu Wan-er scolded softly. "Take this pill and rest for the time being. I will protect you. But you are not allowed to touch me when I am asleep." Lu Wan-er's eyelids became increasingly sleepy. She felt that Ning Fan's finger that was holding the pill went into her lips and touched her soft and moist tongue. She was a little embarrassed, but she did not resist. She gradually closed her eyes as she became more and more sleepy. Ning Fan looked at Lu Wan-er, who was sleeping beside the bed, and heaved a sigh of relief. If the silver blood pill is consumed in time, it shouldn't cause any damage to the heart. That's good. When he thought about how this girl sacrificed her own blood to give him the spirit attachment technique, Ning Fan closed his eyes and felt touched. From the beginning to the end, this girl had never revealed her thoughts to him. However, Ning Fan knew all of her thoughts and concerns. However, Lu Wan-er did not know about Ning Fan's concerns. "If I tell you that I am not Liu Bei, will you regret it?" he sighed and touched Lu Wan-er's cheek with his palm. At this moment, the golden flame chariot trembled slightly. This slight tremble made Ning Fan's eyes reveal a cold light. As they were approaching the prefecture, the flies that were tailing them became impatient. Since they could keep up with the speed of the golden flame chariot, these flies were not weak. 3 of them were spirit-severing realm chi. Ning Fan held the spirit-shattering whip in his hand and disappeared from the golden flame palace like a shadow. "I will use these flies to test the power of my magic treasure." However, after taking a few steps, he suddenly stopped and looked at the spirit-shattering whip in disbelief. Only then did he realize that this whip had 2 types of spirit attachment technique. Absorption technique, lightning spirit. His heart trembled and his eyes became gentle. "I see. The reason why you used the spirit attachment technique for a year and 3 months was because of this second type of spirit attachment technique. You didn't attach your spirit to a magic treasure or ability. Instead, you wanted to attach your own shadow to my heart. You did it. Just now, I should have praised you." My tone was a little heavy. He closed his eyes and his gaze became cold again. "Let's end this quickly. These flies are disturbing one's rest." Chapter 253. Yao Yuan's face darkened. The golden flame chariot had traveled hundreds of millions of li, and it had already reached the hinterland of the Luo Yun tribe. However, it had unexpectedly been ambushed here. To be able to follow behind the golden flame chariot and plot against it, he was definitely not a weakling. There were a total of 3 ambushers behind him, and Yao Yuan could not see through each of their auras. However, the powerful demonic aura caused Yao Yuan's heart to tremble. There was no mistaking it. The 3 people behind him were all spirit-severing demon generals. As the 3 of them approached, Yao Yuan recognized one of the demon generals. It was Bai Yuan from the Lai Tu tribe. The other 2 were also from the Lai Tu tribe. The Lai Tu tribe is really bold. They actually sent 3 demon generals to assassinate General Bai. Yao Yuan was infuriated. Bai Yuan and the other 2 had chased after the golden flame chariot for an entire year. Their patience was enough to show their determination to kill Liu Bei. The other side had 3 semi-god realm cultivators while they had no semi-god realm cultivators. Moreover, because this place was the hinterland of Luo Yun, it was far away from the border guarded by the 7 generals of Luo Yun. In fact, millions of miles away was a wasteland. There wasn't even a demon city to help. This place was truly the best place to ambush and kill them. "Elder Yu, hurry up. Don't stop. If they catch up to us, we'll definitely die." The alchemist surnamed Yu, who was controlling the carriage, complained bitterly in his heart. If he had known that it would be so dangerous to travel with Ning Fan and that there would be 3 divine transformation realm experts intercepting and killing him, he would never have participated in this trip. However, there was no room for regret at this moment. The only thing he could do was run for his life. He did not think that Ning Fan could fight against 3 divine transformation realm experts. In fact, he did not even think that Ning Fan had the strength to fight against divine transformation realm experts. Even if Ning Fan possessed the royal bloodline, his cultivation base was only at the early nascent soul realm. Yao Yuan and the others had the same thought. The 3 demon generals chasing after the golden chariot had the same thought. The silver-armored fiend general Bai Yuan chased after the golden flame chariot with a sneer on his face. "Liu Bei? That day, this person killed my destroyer peak guards and caused me to lose a battle. Wasn't he very arrogant? Wasn't he known as Luo Yun's Liu Bei the murderer? How could he escape like a stray dog? Ridiculous. It's laughable that this man could actually awaken the royal true spirit bloodline. It's laughable that a titled demon general has offered a bounty of 100 million immortal jades to kill him. General Bai's words are incorrect. As a demon general, how can I question Lord Demon Sealer's judgment? If Lord Demon Sealer believes that this child's life is worth 100 million spirit stones, then he must be right. The one who spoke was a black-armored demon general. He was also an earth-splitting demon general, and his surname was Feng Ziki. This Feng Ziki did not get along with Bai Yuan. He used the title of a titled demon general to refute Bai Yuan. Bai Yuan's eyes darkened. He snorted coldly and did not refute. He turned his gaze towards the last golden-armored goblin general and said with a respectful expression, "We've chased him for so long. This is the perfect place to kill him. I heard that General Su Ri has awakened his blood 3 times and has condensed half a drop of the primordial fire phoenix's bloodline. He has a heaven-defying ability to restrain fire. General, please extinguish the fire and stop the carriage." The golden-armored goblin general named Su Ri seemed to be a man of few words. His left eye flickered and a scarlet star appeared. With a point of his finger, the golden flame chariot, which was tens of thousands of li away, suddenly trembled. Then, the flames dispersed and were devoured by a fiery vortex that appeared out of nowhere. After the flames were extinguished, the golden flame chariot was nothing more than a crystal chariot. After losing its propulsion, its speed became slower and slower. Bai Yuan sneered. He patted his storage pouch and took out 6 3-inch silver nails. He tossed them into the air and they turned into 6 rays of silver light that wrapped around the golden flame chariot. The golden flame chariot swayed once again and was forced to a stop. Yao Yuan and the others on the chariot staggered and lost their balance. In just a breath's time, 3 demonic smoke surrounded the golden flame chariot from 3 directions. Yao Yuan's expression changed drastically. With the golden flame chariot stopped, how could they escape the pursuit of 3 demon generals with their weak strength? Knowing that death was inevitable, Yao Yuan took a step forward and glared at Bai Yuan. "General Bai, you're a demon general of the earth-splitting tribe. How dare you trespass into my Luo Yun territory? Have you forgotten that the 9 demon tribes have agreed that demon generals are not allowed to trespass into the enemy's territory? You're just a mid-nascent soul realm demon soldier. What right do you have to question me?" The silver-armored Bai Yuan took a step forward. With this step, he exerted an oppressive aura as if he was stepping on Yao Yuan's mind. Immediately, Yao Yuan vomited blood and retreated. He raised his head and looked at Bai Yuan in disbelief. "I'm seriously injured. Is this the might of a spirit-severing realm demon general?" The might of a single step was something that a dignified 100 battles demon soldier like me couldn't withstand. Yao Yuan can die, but General Bai can't. Where are the soldiers? Kill. Under his command, the other 40 demon soldiers disregarded their lives and soared into the sky one by one. Even if they were afraid of the enemy, military orders must be obeyed. Bastards from the Luo Yun territory are always arrogant. Even if there are 40 nascent soul realm demon soldiers, I have nothing to fear. Seeing Bai Yuan injuring a mid-nascent soul realm demon general with a single step, the black-armored Feng Ziki's expression turned ugly. Although he, Feng Ziki, was also a spirit-severing realm demon general, injuring a mid-nascent soul realm demon general with a single step was something he couldn't do. On the surface, Bai Yuan was punishing the enemy ants. But in the dark, he was demonstrating his strength to Feng Ziki. Feng Ziki couldn't accept this. Indeed, he didn't have the strength to injure someone with a single step. However, he had just obtained an incomplete heavenly profound treasure, which was extremely powerful. If he were to fight Bai Yuan to the death, his chances of winning were higher than Bai Yuan's. What's there to be proud of? Crouching Tiger Seal, smash. Feng Ziki took out a shiny black metal seal. The metal seal was covered with cracks, but when it soared into the sky, it caused the sky to tremble and a tiger's roar could be heard. It almost shattered the sky and revealed the void. On top of the metal seal, there were 1,096 demonic spiritual seals, which made the treasure's power shocking. Incomplete heavenly profound treasure. 1096 spiritual seals. Could this spiritual seal be planted by the number 1 spirit augmentation master of the earth-splitting realm? Bai Yuan couldn't help but be shocked. If the crouching tiger seal smashed towards him, he definitely wouldn't be able to withstand the power of the seal with his several incomplete heavenly profound treasures. Only a spirit augmentation master with a demonic spiritual power of 1096 units could inscribe 1096 spiritual seals. As everyone knew, the spirit augmentation technique was the hardest to learn. Other than Cloud General Lu Daochen, no one else could master the spirit augmentation technique and attain the spirit transformation realm at the same time. The best spirit augmentation master of the earth-splitting realm was only at the late nascent soul realm. Rumor had it that this spirit augmentation master had already stopped all spirit augmentation techniques and focused on cultivation, striving to break through to the peak nascent soul realm. Unexpectedly, he was able to perform spirit augmentation on Feng Ziki and even inscribe 1096 spiritual seals. An ordinary person wouldn't be able to inscribe so many spiritual seals without spending a few years. Why would that spirit augmentation master spend a few years in seclusion just to inscribe a magical treasure for Feng Ziki? This doesn't make sense. It seems like Feng Ziki must have used some despicable means to force the spirit augmentation master to comply. I didn't expect this Feng Ziki to have such a magical treasure. In this case, even if I exert my full strength, I might not be able to defeat Feng Ziki. Seeing Bai Yuan's gloomy eyes, Feng Ziki seemed to be extremely pleased. He laughed heartily. His tiger body shook and he pointed his finger at the sky. The black seal immediately started to spin. Traces of heavenly spiritual energy were extracted from heaven and earth and entered the black seal, turning into an illusory black tiger shadow. With the strength of the black tiger's roar, the 40 nascent soul realm demon soldiers vomited blood and fell to the clouds. Following the appearance of the black tiger, the black seal immediately enlarged. 100 zhang, 1,000 zhang, 100 zhang. It was as if a black mountain was falling from the sky. Wherever it went, the void would collapse. The seal ruthlessly smashed towards the golden flame chariot. Pill Master Yu's face had already turned pale. As for Yao Yuan, he held his chest and gritted his teeth. Damn it! Damn it! I can die, but I have the military order to escort Liu Bei. If Liu Bei is injured, it will be a dereliction of duty and a disgrace. Even if I have to detonate my nascent soul, I have to protect the golden flame chariot. Yao Yuan's eyes became ruthless. He formed a demonic art and looked at the giant mountain above him with determination. However, at the next moment, a scene that he would never forget for the rest of his life appeared. The falling mountain covered the sky, causing rocks and soil to roll down. At the bottom of the mountain, a purplish-black smoke flashed and turned into a white-robed young man. The corner of the young man's mouth curled up into a cold smile. The blood-red whip in his hand lashed on the mountain. Break! The power of the whip did not break the mountain. However, the demon soul in the dantian of the owner of the treasure, Feng Ziki, was bombarded by countless nirvana blood lightning. Puff! He held his lower abdomen and retreated while spurting out blood. He found it hard to believe. The person who appeared out of nowhere and stopped the tiger-subduing seal was the target he wanted to kill, Liu Bei. However, he could not understand how an early nascent soul realm Liu Bei could stop the tiger-subduing seal. Not even Demon General Bai Yuan could withstand it. He could not understand what that blood-red lightning whip was. It actually blocked the tiger-subduing seal and strangely injured his demon soul in his dantian. Treasure extraction, nascent soul breaking. This place was not the Endless Sea. There was no Zhou clan here. It was Feng Ziki's first time seeing the secret technique of treasure extraction to attack the nascent soul. Moreover, Feng Ziki felt that he had lost a large amount of his demon power. After all, the grade of the tiger-subduing seal was higher. The spirit-breaking whip could not stop it at all. However, this was exactly what Ning Fan wanted. If one whip was not enough, he would whip 10 times. If 10 whip was not enough, he would whip 100 times. He held the blood-red lightning in his hand as if he was whipping an animal. Each whip carried a thunderous sound and landed on the tiger's subduing seal. After tens of lashes, the illusory black tiger let out a cry and collapsed. After losing the tiger spirit, the tiger's subduing seal trembled and withdrew from the illusory form of the magical treasure. Then, it turned into a small black seal and landed on Ningfan's palm. On the other hand, Feng Ziqi's demon soul was heavily injured. He kept coughing out blood and all of his demon power had been absorbed by the 100 whips. As expected, 100 whips are not enough to kill a demon general. The demon soul of a demon general is a spirit-severing realm primordial spirit. It is not as weak as a nascent soul realm demon general. However, I still managed to severely injure this demon. Moreover, this demon's demon power has been sucked dry. It will be hard for him to recover in a short period of time. If he doesn't have a body refining technique, he will be a cripple. The purple star in Ningfan's left eye flashed and he looked at Bai Yuan and the other two people. From the moment he appeared to the 100 whips, his actions were too fast. Bai Yuan and Su Ri could only see Ningfan's appearance at this moment. Under the intense gaze of Ningfan, Feng Ziqi, who was originally suppressing his injuries, coughed out blood in horror. He could barely stand steadily. As for Bai Yuan, he took a few steps back before he could get rid of the strange aura. His heart was filled with fear and a hint of submission. This is the aura of a royal true spirit. Even I find it hard to calm my mind. When Ningfan activated the purple star in his left eye, the golden-armored demon general also activated the half-star in his left eye. He tried to use the power of the fire phoenix to resist Ningfan's Fu Li aura. However, the fire phoenix blood he condensed was only half a drop. It was not even as good as Li Ban's. In front of Ningfan's royal demon bloodline, he was simply looking for trouble by daring to resist the aura. Puff. Su Ri coughed out a mouthful of blood and took a few steps back. His immemorial incomplete bloodline could not withstand a single blow in front of Ningfan's bloodline. Bai Yuan was stunned. Out of the 3 spirit-severing realm experts, 2 of them coughed out blood. Among them, Feng Ziqi was strangely injured. Even Bai Yuan could not see how and why Feng Ziqi got injured. He was Liu Bei, an early nascent soul realm ant. What exactly is going on? A mere early spirit-severing realm cultivator dares to block my way? At this moment, Ningfan lifted his finger and formed a sword with his finger. The mountains within 10,000 li collapsed. One finger, mountain crushing. Chapter 254. Tens of thousands of miles of mountains collapsed, and smoke rose in all directions. In the midst of the roar, it was like a hurricane that swept across thousands of miles of the wasteland, destroying the plants and trees. Bai Yuan took a few steps back in the midst of the hurricane and finally steadied himself. As for Su Ri, he retreated 10 zhang. As for Feng Ziqi, who had absorbed all of his demonic energy, he was almost blown away by the force of the finger. In a panic, Feng Ziqi gritted his teeth and activated the 3 layers of low-grade earth profound spirit armor in front of his chest, barely blocking the force of the finger. However, Feng Ziqi's heart was filled with shock. The force of Ningfan's finger was definitely equivalent to the full force attack of an early spirit-severing cultivator. The moment the sword light shot out from the finger, Feng Ziqi felt a chill in his heart and a great sense of danger swept through his heart. The sword light shot out from Ningfan's fingertip and split into 3, each slashing towards the 3 generals. The speed of the 3 sword lights was unimaginably fast. As they neared the 3 generals, they turned into tens of thousands of sword silks, attacking all the blind spots of the 3 generals. Bai Yuan and Su Ri still had the strength to fight, but their faces were solemn. As for Feng Ziqi, his scalp was numb, turning sword into silk. This technique was definitely the rare spirit-severing sword technique that was mastered by the spirit-severing sword cultivators. After turning into silk, the power of the sword would increase by at least a few times. Not good. Feng Ziqi's 3 layers of spirit armor and the black general armor collapsed the moment they came in contact with the sword silks. The first layer shattered. The second layer shattered. The third layer shattered. Although the 4th layer of the black general armor did not shatter, It was full of cracks. The impact of the sword's silks shook Feng Ziqi's chest, causing him to spurt out a mouthful of dark blood. His injuries became more and more serious, even his cultivation began to drop. Feng Ziqi looked at Ning Fan's resentment and fear. He was resentful because he, a dignified demon general, was injured to this extent by a nascent soul ant. He was afraid because if Ning Fan's used another mountain-shattering finger on him, he would not be able to withstand it with his broken armor. Retreat! Retreat! General Bai, we must retreat quickly. Please send reinforcements to Lord Demon Sealer. Feng Ziqi said through clenched teeth. Even though Bai Yuan and Su Ri were shocked by the might of Ning Fan's finger, their demon power was still intact. Thus, they were able to withstand the attack. However, because they had witnessed the power of Ning Fan's lightning whip, the two generals did not dare to take them out even though they had broken profound heavenly treasures. Instead, they each used their demonic techniques to disperse the sword threads. Demonic art, White Knight. Demonic art, Fire of the Distant Sun. The two of them were worthy of being demonic generals of the demonic transformation realm. Among them, Bai Yuan's finger seals were complicated. The demonic art he executed actually caused the day to descend into the night and dissipate the night. He extracted a sliver of the light of day from sundered night and shook off the light threads, causing them to collide with the sword threads. As for Su Ri, a half-star flashed in his left eye, and a deep red sun appeared in the sky. As soon as this sun appeared, half of Su Ri's body turned into flames, and he reached out to grab the sword threads with his bare hands. As soon as the illusory flame half was pierced by the sword threads, it was immediately reborn from the flames. In an instant, Su Ri's claws flew out and destroyed the sword threads one by one. Other than consuming a lot of demonic power, the two generals were not injured by the mountain shatter finger. Therefore, Bai Yuan only considered Feng Ziqi's suggestion of retreating for a moment and immediately rejected it. He said disdainfully to Feng Ziqi, "To think that you're a demon general. How dare you show weakness in front of a nascent soul realm junior? Ridiculous. The three of us demon generals captured a nascent soul realm junior. Our plan was thorough and our actions were meticulous. If we still fail, what face do we have to face the demon sealing realm when we return?" Bai Yuan did not think much of it. Ning Fan's finger had indeed shocked him, but it was not to the extent that he could not resist it. From Bai Yuan's point of view, Ning Fan's spirit-severing realm attack was probably his strongest trump card since he was only a nascent soul realm cultivator. Moreover, it was already heaven-defying with just a few attacks. Unfortunately, Bai Yuan had underestimated Ning Fan's strength. Ning Fan was able to fight against a spirit-severing realm expert when he was at the Jade Life realm. After comprehending the second finger of the sword finger, he was able to kill a spirit-severing realm expert. Now that his demonic power had awakened the royal bloodline and obtained 7,455 units of demonic power, he was able to fight against a spirit-severing realm expert with just his demonic power alone. Bai Yuan should have fled, but he did not. As soon as his voice fell, Ning Fan raised his finger again and pointed at him for the second time. "I didn't expect you to use this sword light that can shatter mountains for the second time." Bai Yuan's sneer had yet to end when his eyes were suddenly filled with shock. As for Su Ri, he coughed out blood continuously. He raised his head and looked at the red sun that he summoned with his magic technique in disbelief. The fiery sun turned dark purple under Ning Fan's finger, losing Su Ri's control. Following Ning Fan's finger, the purple sun was ignited with black flames. Second finger, sky shattering. The purple sun was shattered. A huge crack appeared in the sky where the purple sun was destroyed. Then, the sky started to crumble along the crack. A ray of dark purple aurora shot out from the tip of Ning Fan's finger. It turned into millions of dark purple sword silks and attacked the three generals. At this moment, Ning Fan was standing on the peak of an illusory devil mountain, giving off an irresistible majesty. Bai Yuan's expression changed drastically. The power of this finger was too strong. It was strong enough to kill him instantly. He might as well use this finger to attack the three generals at the same time instead of sharing the burden with himself. In this way, there was still a chance for him to withstand the attack. Bai Yuan no longer cared about hiding his treasures. He took out a silver-white banner and waved it. The banner shone brightly and turned into millions of white lotuses. Tens of thousands of white lotuses stood in front of the sword silks. Every time a sword silks were neutralized, a white lotus would crumble. Every time a white lotus crumbled, Bai Yuan's demonic power would be depleted by 60 years. After consuming half of his demonic power, Bai Yuan could barely withstand 1/3 of the power of the sky-shattering finger. However, he was already terrified because he saw the silver-white banner breaking inch by inch after blocking the sword silks. A dignified, profound sky incomplete treasure was actually destroyed by 1/3 of the power of the finger. If I am caught off guard and get hit by this finger, won't I die for sure? Bai Yuan's scalp went numb. As for Su Ri, he did not feel any better. He performed a hand seal and bit the tip of his tongue. His entire body turned into a 1,000-zhang fiery phoenix. Under the power of this Dharma idol, no matter how many sword silks pierced the phoenix's body, the wounds would be healed by the burning flames. The sword silks could not hurt Su Ri, but the Dharma idol's rebirth in flames consumed too much demonic power. In order to block the sword silks, he had consumed almost 1/3 of his demonic power. What made Su Ri even more incredulous was that the demonic intent contained in the sword silks was too overbearing. After piercing his body, it immediately turned into a demonic intent that disturbed his mind, causing the birth of inner demons. Demonic intent? It's not demonic intent. This Liu Bei is so strange. As a member of the demon race, he has comprehended demonic intent. Moreover, he comprehended it at the nascent soul realm. Su Ri's eyes were not calm at all. The second finger, sky-shattering finger, made Su Ri and Bai Yuan struggle to hold on, but it also crushed Feng Ziqi's body. Feng Ziqi's magical power was focused on magical treasures. His magical treasures were seized, his demonic power was drained, and his protective spiritual equipment was destroyed in the first exchange. With his damaged general armor, he could not withstand the power of the second finger. In desperation, he took out a golden jade token, clenched his teeth, and crushed it. The moment he crushed the jade token, his realm began to collapse, falling from the divine transformation realm to the nascent soul realm. However, a golden barrier rose around his body, blocking the sword silks one by one. Ancestral worship token. Sacrificing demon blood to the ancestors, sacrificing one's realm in exchange for a life-saving ability bestowed by the ancestors. At this moment, Feng Ziqi was truly in despair. If he did not sacrifice his realm, he would definitely not be able to withstand the power of this finger, given that he had lost his demonic power and was almost a cripple. Being in the golden light and seeing the sword silks being devoured by the golden light, he felt slightly relieved. Once the golden light appeared, it could at least protect him for a few hours. Even a profound heavenly spiritual treasure could not break this golden light. During this period of time, he was safe. Escape, I must escape. Before the golden light disappeared. After escaping, he would cultivate back to the divine transformation realm and take revenge on Liu Bei again. Feng Ziqi's eyes were filled with unprecedented hatred. Using the power of the golden light, he tried to move. However, before he could move, a smoky figure took a step forward and appeared behind him. A palm pressed on the golden light. The tremendous force made Feng Ziqi unable to move. Then, a punch landed on the golden light. Boom! A loud explosion almost shattered the golden light. Feng Ziqi's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. It can't be wrong. It can't be wrong. Liu Bei's punch almost shattered the golden light of the ancestral token. The power of this punch is definitely Jade Life Realm. This person is definitely not a nascent soul realm ant. He is obviously a Jade Life Realm body cultivator who is on the same level as us demon generals. Let me go. I swear on my heart, devil, that I will never find trouble with Brother Liu in the future. Even if you have a Jade Life Realm, you won't be able to break the barrier of the ancestral token. Do you really want to fight me to the death? Feng Ziqi forced himself to calm down and said in a threatening manner. Noisy! Since he could not break the golden light barrier with a single punch, He naturally knew how hard the turtle shell summoned by the ancestral token was. However, it was not impossible for him to break this turtle shell. Ning Fan touched his glabella and waved his Separation Slayer sword. The sharpness of the sword caused the void to crack wherever the sword light passed. The golden light was cut into two halves. The cut was as smooth as a mirror. Feng Ziqi's face was filled with disbelief. His physical body was also cut into two halves. His physical body was separated. It was his demon soul that was cut into two. After the demon soul, there was a black void crack that was 1,000 zhang long. Traces of black void wind blew at Ning Fan, making his long hair dance like a devil. I'll kill one first. Ning Fan opened his mouth and swallowed Feng Ziqi's demon corpse and dead soul, leaving only his head. His baleful qi became even stronger. He raised his head and glanced at Bai Yuan and Su Ri. Both of them had just withstood the second finger attack. Both of them were in a sorry state. Before Bai Yuan could catch his breath, he heard Feng Ziqi's wail. His eyes turned to the place where Feng Ziqi was cut. He looked at the void that was cut by the sword and met Ning Fan's eyes. His heart turned cold and his hair stood on end. Feng Ziqi is dead. He's dead. Even though his demon power was exhausted, he had a general armor and 3 layers of spiritual equipment to protect his body. His defense was as strong as a tortoise's. Moreover, he was bestowed an ancestral worshipping order by the demon lord. Before this, Feng Ziqi had activated the ancestral worshipping order to protect himself. In exchange for a few hours of life, he had fallen from the spirit-severing realm. Even a profound heavenly spiritual treasure could not break the golden light barrier. Even a mid-spirit-severing realm cultivator would find it difficult to break it. However, such a sturdy golden light barrier was cut into pieces by Liu Bei's sword. That sword light was too sharp. It was something that Bai Yuan had never seen before in his life. He had never heard of anyone in the land of slumber who had a sword light that was sharp enough to cut the primordial spirit of a demon soul. Even after a demon general died, his demon soul could not escape, let alone have the chance to possess and reconstruct his physical body. What kind of sword is that? It was like a ray of starlight that floated around Ning Fan's body. It was impossible to see his true appearance. Bai Yuan and Su Ri looked at each other and saw each other's intention to retreat. From the moment Feng Ziqi's demon power was sucked away and he was severely injured for no reason, to the moment he used the ancestral worshipping order to protect his life, his demon soul was still cut into pieces. All of these strange events were enough to make Bai Yuan and Su Ri fearful of Ning Fan. Moreover, Bai Yuan finally felt an absurd sense of crisis. Even if his remaining 2 demon generals attacked together, they would not be able to take down this nascent soul realm demon soldier in front of him. So this is Liu Bei. This kind of person can even put up a fight against a mid-spirit severing realm demon general. Retreat. The 2 generals looked at each other and nodded. Then they moved to the west and the east respectively. While retreating, Bai Yuan imitated Su Ri and summoned his demon blood avatar. It had a single horn, a pair of wings, 4 legs and a tail. Its white fur was so long that it touched the ground. It was also a beast with the remnant blood of the immemorial era, Bai Zai. In the eyes of the 2 demons, at least one of them would be safe while the other one had the avatar to protect him. Thus, it would not be difficult for him to escape. Trying to run. Don't you think it's too late? Freeze. Ning Fan pointed his finger and displayed the heaven freezing technique. Countless crimson blood threads pierced out from the 2 demon avatars, entangling them. The 2 dignified spirit-severing realm demon generals were all frozen by Ning Fan's finger. With the current strength of my finger, it's enough to freeze an early spirit-severing realm demon. 3 breaths. He took a step forward and approached Bai Zai. He grabbed the Separation Slayer sword that was floating in front of him and slashed it down. This time, Bai Yuan finally saw through the reason why this sword was so unimaginably sharp. Countless of them. The sharpness word spirit seals on the Starlight Longsword were also innumerable. There were at least 7,000 of them. The sharpness of this sword was even stronger than a real spiritual treasure. I can't block it. Bai Zai's roar. At the critical moment, Bai Yuan shattered his laryngeal bone. At the cost of hurting himself, he let out a blood-red sound wave. He could not move and could only make a sound. However, this sound wave demonic technique was Bai Zai's innate ability. It burned the meager amount of Bai Zai's blood in exchange for power. It could only be used to protect one's life. Once it is used, the blood in one's body would become thinner and thinner until it became ordinary demon blood. This sound wave was strong enough to injure ordinary demon generals. Even a fourth realm silver bone body refinement realm demon cultivator would be severely injured if they were not prepared. Bai Yuan only wanted to buy 3 breaths of time. After that, he would run for his life. However, when the blood-red sound wave reached Ning Fan's body, it was blocked by his jade-colored astral spirit. The sound wave that was strong enough to injure a 4th realm silver bone refinement realm demon beast was unharmed to Ning Fan. Astral spirit. You are a jade life realm cultivator. Bai Yuan let out a blood-curdling scream. His thousand-zhang avatar was cut into half and his demon soul was also shattered. However, Bai Yuan did not understand why Liu Bei, who was rumored to be an early nascent soul realm cultivator, was actually a jade life realm cultivator with 7,000 units of demon power and an incomplete profound sky treasure with 7,000 spirit seals. The sharpness of his sword was comparable to a spiritual treasure. He died with hatred. At the place where he died, the sky was also split apart. Break! Ning Fan pointed his finger and crushed the thousand-zhang Bai Zai into blood mist. He opened his mouth and swallowed all of it. Similarly, only the head was left. He took a step forward and appeared in front of the fire phoenix. Similarly, he slashed down with his sword. The fire phoenix's demonic eyes widened in shock. From the moment it was frozen to the moment Bai Yuan died, only 1 breath had passed. This Liu Bei is really too heaven-defying. Not only did he kill Feng Ziki, who had exhausted all of his demon power, but he even killed Bai Yuan, who had transformed into his avatar. Moreover, he even resisted the power of Bai Zai's roar with his own body, Jade Life Realm. 7,000 units of demon power. A flying sword that is sharper than spiritual treasures. I must break free from the frozen body. If I can't break free from the frozen body, then I will commit suicide. The fire phoenix's demonic eyes flashed with ruthlessness and uttered a word. As soon as the word was uttered, the fire phoenix self-destructed and turned into a wave of demon power that swept towards Ning Fan. However, whenever the wave of fire reached Ning Fan, he would immediately open his mouth and swallow it, turning it into nourishment for the yin-yang locket. The wave of fire returned and slowly condensed into another 1,000-zhang tall fire phoenix. Even though its qi was slightly weakened, it managed to break free from the frozen body. Ning Fan's eyes lit up. According to the demon scripture, the immemorial fire phoenix can be reborn from the flames, while the immemorial lightning dragon can survive lightning attacks. Even though this person's bloodline is thin, he can still be reborn from the flames. Besides, it seems like ordinary magic treasures can't hurt him at all. Ning Fan threw a punch, causing heaven and earth to tremble violently. However, when his punch landed on the fire phoenix, it missed. Then, Su Ri's cold laughter resounded. Humph! I'm different from Bai Yuan and Feng Ziki. Even though I have only awakened half a drop of the fire phoenix's blood, I have comprehended the rebirth technique. With this fire phoenix true body, ordinary magic treasures and magic techniques can't hurt my illusory avatar at all. Even though you have the royal bloodline and your techniques are powerful, I'm not your opponent. However, you won't be able to kill me. Burn. As soon as the fire phoenix uttered a word, the area within 10,000 li turned into a sea of flames. The fire phoenix clan did not wish for the sea of flames to burn Ning Fan to death. Instead, it only wished for the sea of flames to burn the primordial qi of heaven and earth, causing the primordial qi in this place to become chaotic and rendering the heaven sealing technique ineffective. That's good enough. The body of the fire phoenix turned into a ray of fiery light and was about to escape. However, its wings suddenly felt a sharp pain. The phoenix wings that were supposed to be indestructible were actually destroyed by a sharp sword light. It couldn't even be reborn from the flames. Impossible. My Fire Phoenix Demon avatar is an immemorial demon avatar. It's immortal and indestructible. Unless it's an immemorial divine weapon or the lost divine technique, otherwise, I won't be able to hurt you, Ning Fan sneered. He held the Starlight Sword and stepped through the sea of flames. Wherever he passed, the sea of flames parted as if they were afraid of him. On the Separation Slayer sword, a drop of demon blood was dripping down along the blade. The phoenix wings were cut off by this sword. Your phoenix wings are not bad. It's perfect to make a spiritual equipment for one heir. Ning Fan turned into a shadow and swung his sword horizontally. Immediately, the fire phoenix let out a cry of pain as its other demon wing was cut off. His demon eyes were filled with astonishment, and that astonishment turned into madness. The immemorial divine weapon. You actually have such a divine weapon. If that's the case, my fire phoenix body can't withstand this sword. It's hard to escape. If I don't fight back, I'll die. I'll perish together with you. Immemorial phoenix technique, blood burning. The fire phoenix let out a shrill cry. Its bloodline turned into flames. Its demon soul was also ignited, risking its life to fight against Ning Fan at the cost of committing suicide. Ning Fan's eyes turned solemn. This Su Ri was the strongest among the three generals. This blood-burning technique was displayed at such a close distance. It caused Ning Fan's bloodline to boil and burn. If Ning Fan was an ordinary person who had yet to reach the mid-spirit severing realm, he would definitely die under this technique. After all, this was a spirit-severing realm demon general's perishing technique. Since Ning Fan couldn't get rid of the flames in his bloodline, he decided not to. Instead, his body was shrouded in black qi. In the end, it crumbled into black shadows and dissipated. The sea of flames slowly dispersed. Looking at the situation, it seemed like Su Ri and Ning Fan had perished together. Moments later, the black shadows from afar condensed and turned into Ning Fan's figure. This was the incarnation technique, the black torrent soul-splitting technique. Ning Fan's Fu Li demon blood didn't have the fire phoenix's rebirth technique. However, this black shadow was comparable to the rebirth technique. It couldn't be destroyed by ordinary means. Holding Su Ri's head in his hand, he flicked his sleeve. The 3 storage pouches, the heads of the other 2 generals, and the pair of phoenix wings were also kept by Ning Fan. However, Ning Fan didn't immediately return to the golden flame chariot. Instead, he looked at the void beside him and sneered. What a cunning Su Ri! The Separation Slayer sword sliced through the void. Under the void, a panicked demon soul of a fire phoenix was trying its best to resist the corrosion of the void power while hiding. On the surface, it looked like it wanted to perish together with its enemy. However, in reality, it was faking its death to injure the enemy and escape into the void. Ordinary demon generals would definitely die in the void. However, the rebirth power of the fire phoenix was enough to allow Su Ri to resist the power of the void. The void cracked open and Ning Fan stepped into it. Su Ri was so shocked that his eyes widened. He faked his death and escaped into the void. Such a technique was so covert that it didn't escape Ning Fan's eyes. He couldn't figure out how Ning Fan managed to resist the blood-burning technique. One should know that even though Su Ri didn't kill his enemy with his life, the blood-burning technique had consumed at least 3/4 of his blood. The price he paid was huge. Such a price was enough to kill Bai Yuan, but it didn't kill Ning Fan. What made him even more puzzled was that Ning Fan was able to step into the void unscathed. This is impossible. It was indeed impossible. Even a dignified divine transformation realm expert with phoenix blood like him had to use all of his strength to barely stay in the void. However, Ning Fan treated the void like a child's play. When Su Ri's demon soul was held in Ning Fan's hand like a little chick, his face was filled with despair and struggle. As long as Brother Lu let me go, Su Ri will certainly. He begged for mercy, but Ning Fan didn't listen to him at all. He swallowed the demon's soul in one gulp. Then he stepped out of the void. With a sway of his body, he appeared on the golden flame chariot. The intense baleful qi that killed 3 divine transformation realm experts made Yao Yuan and the others tremble in fear. No one thought that he could survive the ambush of 3 demon generals. No one thought that Ning Fan, who was rumored to be an early nascent soul realm cultivator, had the strength to fight 3 divine transformation realm experts alone. As for Pill Master Yu, who was fearful of battle just now, his knees went soft and he fell to the ground. He lowered his head and did not dare to meet Ning Fan's eyes. Pill Master Yu could not understand. Those were demon generals with divine transformation realm cultivation bases. The Luo Yun tribe only had Feng Yao and 7 demon generals. The Lai Tu tribe only had Feng Yao and 6 demon generals. Out of the 6 demon generals, 3 of them were dispatched, but all of them died in Ning Fan's hands. If this matter were to spread out, Ning Fan's reputation in the second world would be incomparable to that of a mid-demon general. General Bei is mighty. Yao Yuan and the other demon soldiers suppressed their fear and their expressions became solemn and respectful. Their respect was almost comparable to the respect they had for a titled demon general. They were known as cripples if they didn't speak. A soaring heaven realm expert could kill a divine transformation realm expert. As soon as Liu Bei entered the province and spread the news of him killing 3 divine transformation realm experts, the land of slumber would certainly be in an uproar. Keep this head and enter the province. If anyone dares to stop my chariot, I will show them my head. Sir. After receiving the 3 bloody heads, Yao Yuan was overwhelmed with emotions. Not long ago, these 3 heads were insufferably arrogant divine transformation realm demon generals. But now, they were already dead men's heads. Holding the heads, Yao Yuan could not calm down. He looked at Ning Fan's back with excitement. This is what it means to be a strong expert. One day I, Yao Yuan, will be like General Bei. I will kill people within 10 steps and behead them. My name will be known throughout the Luo Yun tribe. After everyone recuperated, the golden flame chariot reignited its flames and went straight to the province. After entering the golden flame palace, Ning Fan sat on the side of the bed and looked at Lu Wan, who was still in a deep sleep. All the flies are dead. The Earth General put a bounty of 30 million on me for killing the Trap Peak guards and 100 million on me for awakening the King's blood. I wonder if the Earth General would still dare to place a bounty on me if he knows that I killed 3 generals alone. Does he still have the guts to do so? In the province of the Lai Tu tribe, the Earth General Bai Wuzuan was wearing a suit of silver armor and holding 2 silver balls in his hands. He was waiting for the 3 generals to report their success. Bai Yuan, Feng Ziki and Su Ri have set off for more than a year. It's about time for them to get their hands on the royal true spirit? You're just a nascent soul realm junior. Don't you understand that a man's wealth will arouse his greed? I wonder if I can break through to the late divine transformation realm in one go if I can refine his blood. Bai Wuzuan sneered. But at the next moment, his eyes suddenly opened. He patted his storage pouch and took out 3 pieces of broken life jades. They're broken. They're broken. The life jades of the 3 divine transformation realm demon generals, Bai Yuan, Feng Ziki and Su Ri, were broken at the same time. Impossible. The 3 divine transformation realm experts were moving stealthily. Unless it's Lu Daochen himself, who else could kill them? According to the report, Lu Daochen is still in seclusion in the province of the Luo Yun tribe. If it's not him, then who could it be? Could it be Liu Bei himself? When he thought of this possibility, Bai Wuzuan suddenly rose to his feet. His eyes were filled with astonishment. If this person really has the strength to kill the 3 generals alone, I'm afraid that even I would be weaker than him without using the power of bestowment. Should I continue to capture him and increase the reward to 300 million immortal jades? Or plead for mercy with 300 million immortal jades? Bai Wuzuan's heart was filled with hatred. If he knew about Ning Fan's strength earlier, he would never send the 3 generals to hunt him down. The 3 demon generals were half of the combat strength of the Lai Tu tribe. Now they were destroyed. After losing 3 of them, the overall strength of the Lai Tu tribe was even weaker than the weakest tribe. Now that he had lost 3 of his generals, Bai Wuzuan was unwilling to accept this. It seemed to be inappropriate to continue to capture Liu Bei. It was unwise to capture an expert of this level, Should I withdraw the bounty? Doesn't that mean that I, the dignified demon general of the Lai Tu tribe, have to admit defeat to a young brat? If that's the case, who will pay for the blood debt of the 3 demon generals? But if I continue to offend this person, how should I deal with Liu Bei in the future? Bai Wuzuan found it hard to make a decision. Chapter 255. Lu Wana woke up. His slumber lasted for a month. When she woke up 1 month later, she was stunned by the pair of fire phoenix wings that Ning Fan gave her. This is a top-grade material that can be used to refine flying spiritual equipment. Where did you get it? Murder. I don't believe you. These are the wings of a divine transformation realm cultivator. Are you trying to tell me that you killed the desolate beast and cut off its wings? Or did he assassinate a demon general of a tribe and obtain this wing? Liu Bei, be serious. Don't joke around. Lu Wanner's pretty face puffed up. In her opinion, the fire phoenix's wings were most likely obtained through illegal means, just like the lightning dragon's tendon. In short, Lu Wanna would not believe that Ning Fan had killed a certain demon general during the 1 month that she was in slumber. After all, this was truly unimaginable. Forget it. It's fine if you don't want to tell me. You gave me this pair of wings because you want me to make a flying spiritual equipment for you, right? With this pair of wings, I'm confident that I can make a high-grade fire wings spiritual equipment. It will allow nascent soul realm cultivators to have the soul formation realm teleportation ability and increase the speed of a soul formation realm cultivator by 30%. Lu Wanna made up her mind. Why don't I use these phoenix wings to make a spiritual equipment for Ning Fan? Her thoughts were seen through by Ning Fan. He smiled and caressed her face. There's no need to create a flying spirit equipment for me. I already have the Fu Li demon wings. From now on, I don't need any more flying spirit equipment. When this is done, you can keep it. I will help you refine this pair of fire wings. This way, even if your cultivation base is only at the mid-nascent soul realm, if you escape, not even a spirit-severing realm demon general would be able to do anything to you. You will be safe. Give it to me. It's such a precious item. Lu Wanna lowered her head and allowed Ning Fan to stroke her cheeks. She did not resist at all. This is for you. Rest for a while more. Yao Yuan said that we will reach the prefecture in 3 days. Lu Wanna rested again while Ning Fan sat alone in the cultivation room. For the past month, his mind had been reflecting on what he had learned from the battle with the 3 soul formation cultivators. Among the 3 demon generals, apart from Su Ri who was on par with Yan Zhongzi, the other 2 were slightly weaker than Yan Zhongzi. However, when the 3 of them risked their lives and used their demonic techniques to the extreme, it seemed like they had opened a door for Ning Fan. Yao, demonic arts, and spiritual equipment. In his mind, his understanding of the demon race deepened. After obtaining the phoenix wings and giving them to Lu Wan, Ning Fan did not return empty-handed. He obtained a jade slip from Su Ri's storage pouch. He saw half a damaged spirit seal on Su Ri's broken wing. It seemed that when Su Ri first awakened his blood 3 times and awakened half a drop of phoenix blood, he had done something stupid. On the wings, he would carve a spirit seal. But in the end he failed. Demon wings are not spirit equipment. The spirit equipment of the demon race can be branded with spirit seals to increase speed, but the demon wings and the demon body can't. Su Ri's failure was inevitable. Ning Fan held Su Ri's jade slip and pressed it against his glabella. Su Ri's words immediately resounded in his mind. This passage happened to be a record of Su Ri's experience when he tried to leave a spiritual mark on his wings. Today, I went through the capital scripture tower of the Lai Tu tribe to search for the possibility of engraving a spirit seal on the wings. Lord Demon Sealer said that spirit seals can only be used to engrave magic treasures and spiritual equipment but not the body of a demon. This is the conclusion since ancient times. I don't believe it. I spent 200 years and went through 110,000 books in the capital scripture tower. Finally, I found an introduction about spirit seals. However, this introduction disappointed me. It was a damaged ancient book. It said that the demon race could carve a spirit seal on the body of a demon before the ancient times. However, something happened later on and the spirit of the demon race was taken away. Hence, they couldn't carve a spirit seal. Only a certain true spirit clan was able to see through the truth of the heavens and earth because they specialized in cultivating their demonic eyes. They were able to avoid a calamity and their spirit was not taken away. However, because they had seen through the truth of the heavens and earth, that true spirit clan was cursed for generations and eventually went extinct. Today, I invited the number 1 spirit augmentation master of the Lai 2 tribe to perform spirit augmentation on my phoenix wings. I wanted to know if it was possible to carve a spirit on my fire phoenix wings. In the end I failed. Not only because of the excruciating pain, but also because the spirit seal couldn't be left in my bloodline. Master said that it was because we demons had lost our spirit. Just like how the devil race lost their blood and the divine race lost their heart. No one knows what a spirit is. However, I had no choice but to give up on the idea of carving a spirit. These words made Ning Fan fall into silence. He kept the jade slip and pondered for a long time. This Su Ri didn't have many tricks up his sleeves. However, he was indeed a spirit-severing realm demon. He dared to try and was surprisingly patient. He clearly knew that the demon race couldn't carve a spirit seal on their body, but he still dared to do it. Moreover, he was willing to spend 200 years and go through all the demon scriptures in the capital scripture tower just for this attempt. This person's perseverance was truly great. No wonder he was the strongest among the 3 generals. Carving a spirit seal on the demon wings? If Su Ri didn't bring up this idea, Ning Fan was afraid that he wouldn't have thought of it. Ever since he obtained the spirit seal, he habitually thought that the spirit seal could only be used on magical treasures. However, after accidentally killing Su Ri and obtaining his jade slip, Ning Fan found out that the spirit seal wasn't carved on the spirit equipment in the first place. It was carved on the flesh of the demon race. However, due to the loss of their spirit, the demon race had no choice but to face an awkward situation. They needed to make up for their shortcomings. That was why they created the spirit equipment. The word, spirit, in the spirit equipment actually had a heaven-shaking meaning. Even the ancient demon clan might not know of this meaning, because too much time had passed, far too long. Su Ri was a conscientious person. He thought of it and found out about it. His words made Ning Fan's eyes light up. He had a feeling that the only immemorial true spirit that retained its spirit was probably the Fu Li clan. This was his intuition. Ning Fan finally understood why a person like Su Ri, who seemed to be a man of few words, was willing to assassinate him. What he wanted was not the reward but the blood of the Fu Li clan. Su Ri guessed that the demon blood was probably the cursed demon blood that was recorded in the ancient scroll. Therefore, he came and he died. Could it be that the cursed true spirit mentioned in the jade slip is the Fu Li clan? If it is, then the future of the Fu Li clan's blood can be said to be immeasurable. Ning Fan's eyes were burning with passion. As soon as this speculation rose in his mind, it immediately went out of control. Since ancient times, there were quite a number of true spirit clans that had gone extinct. However, Ning Fan was not completely sure if the Fu Li clan was the only true spirit cursed by the heavenly Tao. However, if the true spirit clan that had penetrated the heavenly Tao was really the Fu Li clan, it meant that even though the Fu Li clan was cursed, they still retained their spirit. Moreover, the demon body and demon wings of the Fu Li clan could be carved with a spirit seal. Ning Fan wanted to give it a try. However, he still had a doubt in his heart. After awakening the Fu Li royal bloodline, Ning Fan had once tried flying with his wings. His speed was astonishing. The Fu Li clan had a unique talent in speed and illusion techniques. It was just like how the Phoenix clan controlled fire and the Dragon clan controlled lightning. With such a talent, Ning Fan's speed was comparable to a divine transformation realm cultivator even if he did not summon his wings. When he summoned his wings, his speed was comparable to a mid-divine transformation realm cultivator. What puzzled him the most was that the Fu Li wings did not consume any demon power when flying. It was as if it was drawing magic power from heaven and earth. This was especially true when he was chasing after Demon General Pure Cloud. While the latter was panting heavily due to teleportation, Ning Fan was not panting at all while chasing after him. Ning Fan did not pay much attention to this matter at that time. He just thought that it was a special ability of the royal bloodline. Now that he thought about it, it was definitely not that simple. Spirit equipment. Spirit equipment had spirit. Therefore, it could borrow the power of heaven and earth without consuming magic power. True spirit. True spirit. Because it had spirit, it could borrow the power of heaven and earth to control the laws of heaven and earth. Ning Fan did not know what spirit was, but he vaguely understood that it was a kind of ability. It was the ability to borrow magic power from heaven and earth. The Fu Li wings did not consume any demon power when flying. Perhaps it was because the Fu Li clan was one of the clans that retained spirit. Because this clan cultivated demon eyes, they could see through the truth of heaven and earth. Because this clan sought fortune and avoided calamity, they managed to escape a calamity and kept their spirit. However, they were cursed and their clan was wiped out within a short period of time. This guess was highly possible. Whether it was true or not, he would know it after trying it out. He just needed to carve a spirit seal on his demon body. If he succeeds, his Fu Li demon blood would possess a potential that no other true spirit could compare to. Ning Fan only knew 3 types of spirit seals: toughness spirit seal, fire spirit seal, and sharpness spirit seal. He suddenly stood up. 2 large purplish-black crystal wings grew out from his back. He formed a hand seal with his fingertips and carved a spirit seal on his left wing. Immediately, an excruciating pain that felt like being cut by a knife and a pen spread across his entire body along his wings. It reminded him of the pain of having his lines tattooed. However, this pain was just the first stroke, and it was not as painful as having his lines tattooed. Ning Fan clenched his teeth and endured it. The toughness spirit seal has 1 main demon character and 7 secondary demon characters. There are a total of 197 strokes. His tone was calm as if he was talking about something casual. The second stroke was carved. The third stroke, the fourth stroke. The pain of each stroke gradually increased. When it reached 100 strokes, it gradually became terrifying. 101 strokes, 102 strokes, 196 strokes. Ning Fan still clenched his teeth and endured it. This stroke was not even as painful as the 30 strokes of tattooing. It was bearable. He was filled with anticipation. Eventually, he made the last spiritual seal on his left wing. At this moment, the spiritual sense of the word toughness was attached to him. As for Ning Fan, he could clearly feel that the toughness of his wings had increased a little. Even though it was just a little, the spirit seal was successfully engraved. The Fu Li clan is one of the clans that retained spirit. Ning Fan's eyes lit up. In this case, his demon body could be imbued with unimaginable divine abilities just by carving the spirit seal. The devil clan's tattooing could increase the strength of their physical body. The demon clan's spirit attachment could increase divine abilities. All of a sudden, a bold speculation rose in Ning Fan's mind. The birth of the demon clan's spirit attachment technique was due to the loss of spirit. Could it be that the devil clan's spirit attachment technique was due to the loss of blood, and they needed a method to make up for the deterioration and weakness of their physical body after losing blood? He had no idea if that was the case. However, the strength of the Fu Li clan made Ning Fan believe that he did not awaken the demon bloodline of this clan in vain. He made up his mind and erased the spirit seal of the word toughness on his left wing. What he wanted was not toughness. Toughness could be improved by the Devil Mark's body refining technique. What he wanted was speed. He needed to learn enough demon characters in the province and form the speed spirit seal. If he could carve 7,455 speed spirit seals on his wings, his speed would be comparable to a late spirit-severing realm expert even if he had yet to attain the spirit-severing realm after summoning the Fu Li wings. If he were to break through to the spirit-severing realm, his speed would be comparable to the 7 venerated beings of the internal sea. The province was near. 3 days passed quickly. Outside the province, a group of demon soldiers was waiting for something. The leader of the group had an impatient look. Liu Bei. I don't care if you're a demon who has awakened the royal bloodline. How dare you snatch one heir from me? You can only die. In the territory of my province, if you're a dragon, you'd better coil up. If you're a tiger, you'd better lie down. This person's name was Lu Tianming. He was the descendant that Yun Jiang valued the most. He was the reason why Lu Wan heir fled the province. Chapter 256. On the military road, the galloping of horses could be heard. 17 dragon steeds stood proudly amidst the smoke and dust. The silver-armored young man in the lead had the aura of a late-stage nascent soul realm cultivator. He was extremely handsome, almost demonic. His name was Lu Tianming, and he was the most talented among Cloud General Lu Daochun's descendants. This person had taken a fancy to Lu Wan when she was a disciple of Yun Jiang. However, she had tactfully rejected him and fled. I, Lu Tianming, am the most handsome man in Luo Yun. As for Lu Waner, her talent is top-notch and her spiritual attachment technique is the best in Luo Yun. Other than this young master, who else is worthy of marrying Lu Waner? He Lu Bei was nothing. He was only at the early stage of the nascent soul realm 1,000 years ago, and he relied on his ancestors. He was a good-for-nothing who failed the second blood awakening realm. He was the weakest nascent soul realm cultivator in Luo Yun. He was the shame of the northern desert. According to the report, the reason why this child was able to awaken his royal bloodline was because one gave him the 5 revolutions blood awakening pill. However, the northern desert priest, Lu Zongyun, used up all of the ancestral Joss flames. As he spoke, Lu Tianming's handsome face disappeared and was replaced by an evil aura. Demon General Lu Sheng was originally only qualified to take 1 blood awakening pill. It was he, Lu Tianming, who begged the patriarch to bestow him a second one, just for Lu Wan to awaken her blood. Such a precious medicinal pill, yet Lu Waner gifted it to others. How could Lu Tianming not hate him? Lu Bei. Even if this person had Waner's help and Lu Zongyun's full power, and was said to have awakened the royal blood, but what was that royal blood? Fooly. Is there such a true spirit in this world? You're just playing to the gallery. Today I, Lu Tianming, will teach you a lesson. His horse stomped on the ground, causing the earth to tremble. The strength of this stomp was already at the half-step jade life realm. This person could be said to be a heaven's pride, but his personality was too frivolous and violent. He needed to be tempered. In the darkness, there was an old man in beast armor. His hair was as white as silver, and his eyes were narrowed. He leaned on a dragon-headed walking stick, but he gave off an aura that could not be ignored. Behind him, 4 grand cultivators stood respectfully. One of them, surnamed Qin, had a worried look on his face as he cupped his hands towards the old man. Lord Demon Sealer, isn't it inappropriate for young Master Tianming to welcome Lu Bei? Asked the old man indifferently. Young Master Tianming is in love with Demon General Lu Sheng's sister. Everyone knows about this. Rumor has it that Lu Bei has brought Lu Waner with him on this trip. The relationship between the two of them is already very close. I'm afraid that young Master Tianming will fight against Lu Bei for Lu Waner. Isn't that good? The old man smiled faintly. Very good, my lord. That Lu Bei might have offended the young master, but he didn't deserve to die. Although this person was in the middle stage of the nascent soul realm, he was able to awaken the royal bloodline, which meant that his aptitude was extraordinary. No one knew what the Fuli was, but it was most likely some kind of true spirit that was destroyed by the ancient race. Even so, this person could still be considered a talent. This Lu Bei is only an early nascent soul realm cultivator after all. On the other hand, young Master Tianming is a late nascent soul realm demon cultivator. Not only that, he is also a half-step jade life realm demon cultivator. If young Master Tianming were to kill him in a fit of rage, wouldn't Lu Bei be in danger? Just wait and see. Lu Bei will be fine. On the contrary, my son, Tianming, will be taught a great lesson today. He will use this opportunity to restrain his temperament. Only then will he have the hope to advance to the divine transformation realm in the future. When the old man talked about Liu Bei, his eyes became absent-minded. What? Are you saying that young Master Tianming is not as good as Liu Bei? The great cultivator with the surname Qin could not believe it. Do you know the reason why I am here today? I don't know. The great cultivator with the surname Qin cupped his fists and lowered his head. He was also puzzled. Today was just an ordinary ceremony to welcome the commander of the Northern Desert Army. Young Master Tianming and the 17 nascent soul realm cultivators were already enough to make the ceremony grand. Why would the demon sealer personally hide in the dark? I'm here to save Tianming's life. If I'm not here and Liu Bei kills someone, no one will be able to stop him. That's impossible. Not to mention that Liu Bei can't kill young master. Even if he could, he wouldn't dare to kill young master in the territory of this prefecture, knowing that young master is the descendant of Lord Tianming. You're wrong. Why wouldn't he dare to? If it's for the world passage, he might even dare to kill me. No one in the Luo Yun continent can stop him. Zhou Ming of the Endless Sea. The old man's cloudy eyes shone with a bright light. He had already roughly figured out Ning Fan's identity. Slowly, the old man retracted his bright light and looked at the sky. Amidst the wind and smoke, a ray of golden light broke through the sky and landed on the military road of the Northern Desert Army. The golden flames dispersed and turned into a crystal carriage. At the moment when the carriage landed, 41 elite soldiers of the Northern Desert who were filled with killing intent stepped down from the golden carriage under Yao Yuan's lead. Most of these 41 people were at the early nascent soul realm, while a few of them were at the mid-nascent soul realm. However, as they approached the army, their auras were as sharp as swords. The 17 nascent soul realm demon soldiers from the Northern Desert Army could not rein their horses anymore. Under the pressure of their killing intent, all of them were secretly shocked. Is this the aura of a nascent soul realm cultivator at the border? Each of the 41 people in front of them was an expert who had survived hundreds of battles. Their auras were incomparable to the nascent soul realm cultivators from the Northern Desert Army. Especially Liu Tianming, his eyes turned cold. 41 people. Demon General Liu Sheng actually sent 41 elite nascent soul realm cultivators to escort a mere Liu Bei. Moreover, the carriage that Liu Bei was riding on was actually the Golden Flame carriage. Liu Tianming had begged the old ancestor of the Northern Desert Army to give him this carriage. Stop right there. Which army do you belong to? Why have you come to the Northern Desert Army? Liu Tianming said coldly. I am Yao Yuan, a demon guard of the Northern Desert. I am the vanguard of General Liu Sheng. Today, I have come to the Northern Desert Army under the order of Lord Demon Sealer to escort Commander Liu of the Blood Orchid Guard to the Northern Desert Army. He has already participated in the Demon General Assessment. In private, he could call him General Liu Bei. But in public, his military position must not be ambiguous. Commander Liu. Could it be the shame of the Northern Desert, Liu Bei? Liu Tianming sneered. Yao Yuan's face darkened. He raised his head and said, Commander Liu is definitely not the shame of the Northern Desert. Young Master Tianming, please be careful with your words. Careful with my words? Are you lecturing me? Liu Tianming squinted his eyes. I don't dare. Although he said he didn't dare, a trace of disdain flashed across Yao Yuan's eyes. Of course, he knew Liu Tianming. He was the one who pursued General Liu Sheng's younger sister and forced her to leave the Northern Desert. Such a person might have a good aptitude. However, he was born in the Northern Desert Army. He only knew how to quarrel with words. In Yao Yuan's eyes, he was not worth mentioning. In the past, he only respected one person, the general of the Northern Desert, Liu Sheng. As such, the person he respected was Liu Bei. As for Liu Tianming, no matter how high his cultivation base was, he was not worth mentioning in Yao Yuan's eyes. It's good that you don't dare. However, Lord Demon Sealer did not summon Liu Bei without a military order. As for the Demon General Assessment, only outstanding demons above the nascent soul realm are selected to participate in the assessment. Entering the dragon pool, ascending the cloud platform and receiving the mandate of heaven. As for Liu Bei, he's just an early nascent soul realm cultivator. What qualifications does he have to participate in the Demon General Assessment? If there's nothing else, you may return to the Northern Desert. This place does not welcome the shame of the Northern Desert. As soon as Lu Tianming finished his words, the 16 demon soldiers behind him immediately clasped their fists to persuade him. However, Lu Tianming waved his hand and stopped them from speaking. A trace of anger flashed across Yao Yuan's eyes. The 12 golden orders from Lord Demon Sealer were fake? How could Demon General Lu Sheng's earnest and serious attitude be slandered? How could a military order be taken lightly? Even if you, Lu Tianming, are the descendant of the Demon Sealer and have extraordinary talents, it's still a crime for you to look down on the Demon Sealer's military order. Moreover, you, Lu Tianming, dare to say that Commander Lu is a disgrace and that he is not qualified to take the Demon General Assessment. This is ridiculous. If Commander Lu, who killed 3 deities alone, is not qualified, who else in the Luo Yun continent is qualified to be a general? Yao Yuan stared at Lu Tianming angrily. How could he not know that Lu Tianming was merely using his official position to seek revenge from Commander Lu because of Lu Wan? However, Lu Tianming did not put Yao Yuan's anger in his eyes at all. Why aren't you guys back to the Northern Desert? Lu Tianming said in a disdainful tone. The military order has not been fulfilled. You cannot leave without permission. Young Master Tianming, it's better for you to step aside before things get out of hand. Military order. Who do you think you are to use the military order to threaten me? A mid-nascent soul realm cultivator is not considered weak in the Northern Desert. However, in my hands, you will die within 3 moves. What's there to fear about death? Seeing that the battle was about to start, the 16 demon soldiers behind Lu Tianming all came to persuade him. Lu Tianming was displeased and harumphed coldly. Forget it. For the sake of all the generals, I will not pursue the crime of Yao Yuan's offense. However, if you want to enter the province, you will need to pay a heavy price. Even if you are a border soldier, you should know about this rule. If I am satisfied with your gift, I will allow you to enter the province. If not, Lu has to stay behind. Lu Tianming's tone changed. From the beginning to the end, his purpose was very simple. He wanted to kidnap Lu Wan, before she met the old ancestor. He wanted to prevent her from being protected by the old ancestor and get close to him. This time, Lu Tianming would not let Lu Wan go so easily after she entered the capital city. This was the way of a foppish young man. How dare you? Lady Lu is the younger sister of General Lu Sheng. How can you detain her? The 40 demon soldiers were enraged. All of them held their swords and were ready to fight. However, this time, Yao Yuan was not angry. He suddenly sneered. You want a gift? Hold on. Everyone, have you forgotten that our Commander Lu has already prepared a generous gift? It is specially prepared for a foppish young man like young Master Tianming. I'm afraid no one in the prefecture would dare to accept such a generous gift. Yao Yuan's words were like a gust of wind that extinguished the anger of all the demon soldiers. At this moment, all 41 of them had the same expression. They were waiting to see Lu Tianming make a fool of himself. There was a generous gift. However, Lu Tianming did not even have the qualifications to accept it. Men, prepare the gift. With Yao Yuan's order, 2 muscular demon soldiers carried a wooden box and threw it in front of Lu Tianming's mount with an extremely arrogant expression. One of them even spat in Lu Tianming's direction with disdain. Lu Tianming was furious. These demon soldiers of the Northern Desert were all ruffians. They were really hateful. However, this wooden box was extraordinary. It was made of profound spiritual purple wood. It was used to store spiritual medicines and pills. It would not rot even after 10,000 years and would be as good as new when opened. Just this box alone was worth hundreds of thousands of immortal jade. This gift seemed to be very expensive. Forget it. Before punishing Liu Bei, let's take a look at this gift first. If this gift is not to my liking, Lu Wan will be mine. Then open the box. Under his command, 2 trusted subordinates immediately got off their horses and went to the box. Both of them were early nascent soul realm cultivators. They were born in influential families in the province and were used to living like princes. Although they had reached the second blood awakening realm, they were only slightly stronger than Liu Bei in the past. As soon as their hands touched the purple wood box, a fierce aura comparable to that of a wild beast immediately rushed towards them. Being caught off guard, the two of them were in a mess and spurted out a mouthful of blood. They could not help but take a few steps back until they reached Lu Tianming's side and fell to the ground. Each of them seemed to have seen an unbelievable scene as their bodies trembled uncontrollably. Demon. Not a single one of them was able to say a complete sentence. The box that contained the generous gift was clearly placed in front of them, but Lu Tianming's trusted subordinates could not even open the lid. Yao Yuan and the other demon soldiers burst into laughter with disdain. We have given the gift, but young Master Tianming's subordinates are too useless. They can't even see what the gift looks like. These words were like needles piercing Lu Tianming's ears, making him feel extremely uncomfortable. He raised his horse whip and lashed it towards the two trusted subordinates. Useless. Zhang Wei, Lu Kuang, you two go open it. As soon as Lu Tianming's voice fell, two more people went to open the box. However, the two of them were in the same situation as the previous ones. Before the lid was opened, they were already scared out of their wits by the fierce aura inside. This time, Lu Tianming's eyes finally turned serious. He realized that there must be something extraordinary in the box. Even 4 nascent soul realm cultivators could not open the lid. He got off his horse and decided to open the box himself. However, with every step he took towards the purple box, his heart beat faster. When he reached the side of the box, Lu Tianming's heart almost jumped out of his throat. Even before he opened the box, an extremely terrifying feeling had already enveloped his body. He was secretly shocked. What exactly was inside the box that made him, a prodigy of the Luo Yun sect, so afraid? Out of caution, he decided to ask what was inside the box first. Yao Yuan, let me ask you, what is inside the box? Human heads. The heads that Commander Lu killed. Yao Yuan sneered. Human heads? He's just an early nascent soul realm cultivator. Who could he possibly kill? Lu Tianming slightly calmed his mind and did not think much of it. He reached out his hand and was about to open the lid. Just as the lid was opened by half an inch, a trace of bloody murderous aura came out from it, causing Lu Tianming to be terrified. He clenched his teeth and forcefully opened the lid by an inch. Through the gap, he could faintly see that there were 3 human heads inside. He exerted all his strength to suppress his fear and smashed the lid with his half-step Jade Life Realm cultivation. However, as soon as the lid was broken, Lu Tianming did not expect what he saw. Human heads. 3 human heads. As soon as the murderous aura from the 3 human heads was released, Lu Tianming and the other 17 people fell into a state of fear. Even Lu Tianming's hands and feet were trembling uncontrollably. This is Demon General. The heads of demon generals. Lu Tianming's mind was greatly shaken. Under the nourishment of the profound spiritual purple wood, the 3 human heads were still in perfect condition. Furthermore, the hatred, unwillingness, resentment and murderous aura of the 3 demon generals were still intact. He took 7 steps back. With every step he took, he would cough out a mouthful of blood, which carried a trace of murderous aura. After taking 7 steps back, he felt a sharp pain in his chest. He half knelt on the ground and looked at the direction of the golden flame chariot with fear. 3 demon generals' heads and 3 demon generals' lives. Who killed them? Lu Tianming was not mistaken. These 3 human heads should be the 3 generals of the Lai Tu tribe, Bai Yuan, Su Ri and Feng Ziqi, especially Su Ri, who was praised by the old ancestor of his tribe as the genius that had the highest chance of breaking through to the mid-divine transformation realm. They died just like that. Who did this? Liu Bei. Liu Bei. Yao Yuan said that these 3 people were killed by Liu Bei. Liu Bei alone killed 3 spirit-severing realm experts. And I, in front of Liu Bei, am fighting for a woman with such a ferocious demon. This can't be true. It can't be. His eyes were filled with madness. At this moment, Ning Fan walked out of the golden flame chariot with Lu Wan. From the beginning to the end, Ning Fan did not plan to be entangled with Lu Tianming. Lu Tianming was a genius, but Ning Fan was an old ancestor. In this second world, only Demon Sealer realm experts were qualified to stop him. If it wasn't because Lu Tianming kept saying that he wanted Lu Wan, Ning Fan would not even bother to look at him. You said that you wanted to tame my wife, Lu Wan. Do you dare to say that again? Ning Fan took a step forward and the momentum of heaven and earth shook. Sword light shone everywhere. With just one step, Lu Tianming was like a dead dog. He coughed out blood and collapsed like a pile of mud. He stared at Ning Fan in disbelief. Half-step divine transformation realm. This is Liu Bei's true strength. Even the 7 generals of the Luo Yun sect could not injure Lu Tianming, who was a half-step Jade Life realm expert with just one step. The only one who could do it was the old ancestor. He was Liu Bei. How was he the weakest nascent soul realm cultivator and the shame of the northern desert? His chi was even stronger than some of the demon generals that Lu Tianming had met before. Who could compete with him for the position of the 8th demon general? It was laughable that he claimed that this person did not even have the qualifications to enter the assessment. If this person wants to enter the prefecture, who could stop him? Moreover, this person could travel freely between the 9 divisions in this land of slumber. No one could stop his footsteps. Whoever dares to stop him would have to learn from the mistakes of those 3 bloody demon generals. I'm asking you a question. Do you dare to repeat what you said just now? The second step. As soon as Ning Fan took that step, Lu Tianming coughed out blood again. His demon nascent soul was on the verge of shattering. His Tao heart was also crushed by Ning Fan's step. Without 100 years, it was impossible for him to reconstruct his Tao heart. Even if he managed to reconstruct it, it would be difficult for him to attain the divine transformation realm in this lifetime. Lu Wan stood behind Ning Fan. She was touched and shocked at the same time. She was touched because Ning Fan kept saying, is my wife. At this moment, Ning Fan gave her a feeling that he would not show mercy to anyone who comes to fight for Lu Wan. It's not worth it to offend the demon sealing realm for a silly girl like me. She muttered softly, but Ning Fan did not seem to hear her. What made Lu Wan even more incredulous were the 3 demon generals' heads. One of them even had the same chi as the phoenix wings. Previously, when she asked Ning Fan where he got the phoenix wings, Ning Fan said that he obtained them by killing people. She did not believe him. She did not believe that Ning Fan had the strength to kill a divine transformation realm expert. After all, it was already difficult to fight a divine transformation realm expert head-on. To kill a divine transformation realm expert and prevent their primordial spirit and demon soul from escaping was just wishful thinking. Only a mid-divine transformation realm expert could kill an early divine transformation realm expert. However, the truth was right before her eyes. Lu Wan had no choice but to believe it. It was Ning Fan who killed Su Ri, who had the phoenix bloodline and seized his wings. Not only that, Ning Fan had killed 3 divine transformation realm experts. There were only a few divine transformation realm experts in this land of slumber. Even Lu Wan, who was in her room, could recognize the faces of the 3 divine transformation realm experts. Bai Yuan, who had the bloodline of Bai Zhe, Feng Ziqi, who had the bloodline of Black Tortoise, and Su Ri, who had the bloodline of Fire Phoenix. Even her elder brother said that he only had a 50% chance of winning against Su Ri. However, all 3 of them were killed by Ning Fan alone. Doesn't this mean that Ning Fan's strength had already far surpassed Lu Sheng, who was known as the 2nd general of the Luo Yun tribe? Moreover, even the 1st general might not be a match for Ning Fan. The only person who could be a match for Ning Fan was probably Demon Sealing Realm. Liu Bei is actually this powerful? But I never knew about it. Lu Wan's eyes were filled with apologetic and admiration. In the dark, Cloud General Lu Daochen's eyes were filled with shock. He had deduced Ning Fan's identity. He should be a human and a devil who had infiltrated the Endless Sea. His name was Zhou Ming. He predicted that Ning Fan would show his strength to Lu Tianming. With this setback, Lu Tianming would restrain his temper and focus on cultivation, truly embarking on the path of a true expert. However, Lu Daochen would never expect that Ning Fan could kill 3 demon generals of the Lai Tu tribe alone. Even if I personally take action, I'm afraid I can only kill 2 out of the 3 of them. As for that Su Ri, his rising from the ashes technique can only be killed by an immemorial divine weapon. Unless I use the power of bestowment, I won't be able to kill that demon. I can't do it, but this Liu Bei actually did it? It seems like I've still underestimated this young man. Lu Daochen remained silent while the expressions of the 4 peak nascent soul cultivators behind him changed drastically. Killing 3 demon generals of the Lai Tu tribe. This Liu Bei is really a monster. However, when they saw Ning Fan taking 2 consecutive steps and shattering their young lord's Dao heart, none of them dared to just stand by and watch. Liu Bei. 4 rays of light shot out, trying to block Lu Tianming's path. However, just as the 4 rays of light appeared, the purple star in Ning Fan's left eye flashed and he took the 3rd step. Get lost. With his current strength, the 3 peak nascent soul cultivators' chests trembled violently and they were sent flying while coughing out blood. The 4 of them stared at Ning Fan in disbelief. That step was the might of the royal bloodline. Unless their cultivation base was far stronger than Ning Fan's, as a member of the demon race, they did not have the qualifications to fight Ning Fan at all. Liu Bei, held Ning Fan back, afraid that he would kill Lu Tianming. Don't worry. I will handle this matter. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with cold light and his gaze fell on Lu Tianming again. I'm asking you a question. If you don't answer me, you will die. Do you dare to ask for my wife again in front of me? On the 4th step, Lu Tianming looked like he had turned into a bloody man. His expression was filled with fear, bitterness, panic and begging for mercy while looking at Ning Fan. Ning Fan's words were like thunderbolts exploding in his sea of consciousness. He did not dare to resist at all. Ming, I don't dare. Of course, he wouldn't dare. He was a profligate young master, but he was not a fool. As a profligate young master, he must first figure out who he could offend and who he could not. Ning Fan was someone that he, Lu Tianming, could never afford to offend in his entire life. Even if he was a divine transformation realm expert, he could not afford to offend him. In front of Ning Fan, all of his glory was nothing but a pathetic joke. From today onwards, I, Lu Tianming, will not pester Miss Wan anymore. If I violate this oath, I will be punished like this. He drew his sword and cut off 3 of his fingers. Blood flowed like a fountain and he felt excruciating pain. However, he did not dare to feel sorry for his fingers. He was afraid that this apology was not enough to appease Ning Fan's anger. Very well. From today onwards, I don't want to see you anywhere I go. Get lost. Yes, in the dark, Lu Daochen sighed. On the surface, Ning Fan was punishing Lu Tianming. But in the dark, his spirit sense had collided with Lu Daochen 3 times. Lu Daochen did not manage to gain any advantage from Ning Fan during the 3 encounters. This brat actually knew that I was hiding here and guessed that I wanted to use this matter to temper Tianming's will so that he could get rid of his personal feelings and the arrogance of a playboy and become an indomitable great demon. This brat has seen through this old man's thoughts. That's why this brat didn't kill Tianming. In this way, this old man owes him a favor. This child's ambition is not in Luo Yun but the 3rd world. However, the 3rd world is not what he imagined. It doesn't have what he wants. You finally found a good home. Now I can be at ease. You finally found a good home. Now I can be at ease. Lu Daochen let out a sigh and left in demonic smoke. Since he didn't kill Lu Tianming, it could be considered as fulfilling the old man's wish, giving Lu Tianming the best setback to temper himself. If Lu Daochen did not give him enough benefits, Ning Fan might turn the entire Luo Yun prefecture upside down for the world passage of the 3rd world. Now, he had the strength to do so. And strength was the guarantee of being domineering. I want the world path of the 3rd world. Chapter 257. The moonlight was very quiet and there were no other sounds. On the Demon River, a gaily painted boat sailed past. Ning Fan did not feel sleepy in the gazing river. On the first day he arrived at the province, his name had shaken the entire Luo Yun country. The news of him killing 3 deities in a row was like a hurricane sweeping across all the other tribes in the second world. However, on the first night he arrived at the province, Lu went to visit her master. In the end, she stayed at a friend's house in the province. That friend seemed to be a prostitute. She was a songstress in the Misty Rain house. I hope that won't learn bad things from others. However, that prostitute must have something special about her for her to be considered a friend. Misty Rain house. Ning Fan repeated these 3 words 3 times. Then he stopped talking. After Yao Yuan and the others handed over their orders, they returned to the northern desert. The golden flame chariot was naturally left to Ning Fan. Lu Daochen did not summon Ning Fan. He did not mention anything about Lu Tianming. Ning Fan could not see through Lu Daochen's thoughts. However, Ning Fan guessed that Lu Daochen probably knew that he was not Liu Bei. The 3 demon heads served as a deterrent. Whether Lu Daochen befriended him or not, he could at least guarantee that he would not dare to go against him. Or, Lu Daochen would offer the world passage to the third world. Or, Ning Fan would steal or rob it. Ning Fan was the only one in the Gazing River restaurant that night. The blood moon was dim, making him feel a little lonely in this foreign land. There were 2 things he must do in the province. One was to find the world passage and the other was to learn the demon language. However, at this moment, he just wanted some peace and quiet. He patted his storage pouch and took out a few 10,000-year-old demon herbs that he bought in the province during the day. He shook his cauldron ring and summoned the Wind Lady and the Tea Lady. The 2 of them seemed to be resting. When they were summoned by Ning Fan, they hurriedly covered themselves with their untidy clothes. May I know why Master called us? Take off your clothes and prepare to take a bath. Take off my clothes. But, now? Are you afraid that I will look at you? No, I'm not. Our faces are ugly. It's our fortune that Master doesn't mind us and is willing to look at us. From their point of view, since Ning Fan had summoned him on such a good day, he was most likely going to have a dual cultivation session. The Wind Lady was a little reserved. She gently bit her lip and nervously unbuttoned her bra. The waitress, on the other hand, was straightforward. Her eyes were like silk, and she deliberately turned her back, not revealing her ugly face, only her graceful body. She took off her dress, revealing her snow-white body. If it wasn't for the fact that their faces were disfigured, the 2 ladies would definitely be stunning beauties. Exquisite and delicate, the room was filled with a delicate fragrance. As the night breeze blew, it was refreshing. The yin-yang locket was the first realm of the second level. As time passed, it was slowly advancing towards the second realm. To advance to the second level of his cultivation method, he would need to dual cultivate with a nascent soul realm female cultivator at the very least. However, he would need to dual cultivate with a void fragmentation realm female cultivator at the very least. Only then would he have the chance to advance to the third level. The void fragmentation realm was still too far away, but there were 2 gold core female demons by his side. The expected dual cultivation did not happen. Ning Fan pointed his finger and the rain in the room slowly condensed into a basin. Then, Ning Fan stretched out his hand and beckoned at the demon river outside the window. Immediately, streams of water from the river were summoned and poured into the rain basin. He used his finger to light a fire. The water temperature immediately rose, and eventually, hot steam emerged. Go in. After you take these 2 pills, refine their medicinal power in the water. Then I will concoct the medicinal liquid. Both of you will absorb the medicinal power of the bathwater. After refining the medicinal power of the pills, you will be able to recover your looks. 2 appearance restoration pills were handed to the 2 ladies. The Wind Lady and the Tea Lady were startled at first, then their faces were filled with surprise and gratitude. Is this a 5th revolution pill? The abundant medicinal power was enough to let the 2 ladies understand that this pill was very valuable. Ning Fan didn't lie to them. He did what he promised. Master, no need to say more. This is what you deserve. Ning Fan smiled and flicked his sleeve. His sleeve generated a gust of wind, and a strong demonic force directly rolled the two ladies into the rain basin. Only then did the two ladies realize that Ning Fan's demonic power was comparable to a spirit-severing realm cultivator. Sitting cross-legged in the bathwater, the two ladies looked around and knew that they were in the second world. It had only been less than 2 years since they parted ways with Ning Fan. In just 2 years, Ning Fan's demonic power had improved from an early nascent soul realm cultivator to a spirit-severing realm cultivator. Moreover, be it the aura force of a late spirit-severing realm cultivator or his royal bloodline, Ning Fan gave the two ladies a feeling that he was superior and incomparable. The baleful qi accumulated from slaughtering spirit-severing realm cultivators made the two ladies unconsciously fearful. If it wasn't for Ning Fan suppressing his baleful qi to avoid scaring them, it wouldn't be difficult for him to injure a late nascent soul realm demon with just his baleful qi. The two ladies were shocked. If Ning Fan was compared to their former master, Li Ban, they could faintly feel that Ning Fan could kill Li Ban without much effort. Congratulations, Master. Your cultivation base has improved tremendously. Thank you, Master, for the precious pills. Take the pills now. Ning Fan patted his storage pouch and took out various kinds of demonic herbs. Using his fingers like a knife, he peeled the skin, peeled the shells, extracted the veins, and grinded the roots. Soon, the bath water in the rain basin turned pale green and was filled with rich medicinal power. The medicinal power was too strong. It was difficult for the two ladies who had lost their gold core realm to absorb it. The medicinal power felt like it was going to tear their immortal veins apart. The pain made their faces turn pale. However, no matter how painful it was, they were unwilling to give up. The destruction of a lady's appearance was like the destruction of a man's immortal veins. It was a painful thing. Finally, the chance to restore their appearance had come. They were not willing to miss it. In the past, as Li Ban's demon companions, they didn't know when they would die. They didn't have freedom. All they wanted was for Li Ban to look at them and say a gentle word to them. But now, as Ning Fan's cauldrons, they didn't need to worry about the blood shadow of the cultivators. They didn't need to worry about becoming cannon fodder. Moreover, they had the chance to restore their appearance. This is the 5th revolution pill that Master had painstakingly concocted. We can't waste it. We must endure it. The two ladies gritted their teeth to absorb the medicinal power. Gradually, a layer of blood scab appeared on their faces. Under the blood scab, the rotten flesh was reborn into tender flesh, slowly turning into a fair and pure face. Endure it a little more. The Wind Lady was stronger while the Tea Lady was more gentle and could no longer endure the pain. Ning Fan sighed softly. If he allows them to continue like this, they would either fail to restore their appearance or die from the pain. He took off his clothes and entered the basin. He sat cross-legged in the basin. Immediately, the medicinal bath water overflowed from the basin. He hugged their slender waists. The two ladies who were enduring the pain suddenly let out a cry. Their faces were flushed red. How can Master's noble body bathe together with us maidservants? If dual cultivation can relieve the pain, who wants to go first? The Wind Lady turned her head away shyly and clenched her teeth. Even though she had been plucked before, she still found it hard to remain calm when facing Ning Fan's naked body. The Tea Lady was open-minded. After all, she was a genuine red flower old demon back in Song Country. She specialized in picking female cultivators. She was always looking forward to dual cultivation with Ning Fan. As soon as she heard that dual cultivation could relieve the pain, she immediately sat on Ning Fan's body and wrapped her arms around his neck. Her eyes were seductive. "Young Master, please take pity on me." The embarrassing scene made the Wind Lady turn her head away. She did not dare to look at Ning Fan anymore. Under her purple hair, her eyes were gradually filled with passion because of the Tea Lady's unscrupulous moans. She spat angrily. Shameless. Just as she was cursing in her mind, she suddenly felt a large hand slowly sliding up her legs. Finally, it touched her tenderness and teased. The Wind Lady let out a soft moan and lowered her head. Her expression could not be seen clearly. She tried to escape, but she could not escape the teasing of that finger. Her delicate body gradually softened and began to cater to that finger. Eventually, the finger entered her body. The bath water gradually turned cold. However, Ning Fan's fingertip felt wet and soft. Dual cultivation did not feel pain. He did not know when the medicinal power of the pill had been refined. The scabs peeled off unknowingly, revealing two beautiful faces. The Wind Lady's face was quiet, fair and sickly. The Tea Lady's face was plump, soft and lively. The two of them had already forgotten about their love. The moon was still as tranquil as before. 3 days later, Ning Fan received an invitation card. It was signed by Lu Daochen. The invitation card invited Ning Fan to meet him in his mansion and discuss the matter of cooperation. From the invitation card, Ning Fan found out that Lu Wan and her friend were currently at Lu Daochen's banquet as guests. They were waiting for Ning Fan. However, there was one thing that Ning Fan did not understand. Cooperation? I don't have any common interests with Lu Daochen at all. How can we cooperate? Or could it be that this Lu Daochen, who is the demon commander's guardian, covets the demon commander's blood and wants to snatch the world passage from the other 8 generals? Ning Fan's eyes turned solemn. If that's the case, this Lu Daochen is really a cunning person. However, when Ning Fan entered the county, he clearly felt that this person's spirit sense was neutral and peaceful. He did not seem like a cunning person. Whether it was for the world passage or to enter the scripture tower, Ning Fan still needed to meet Lu Daochen. Ning Fan was not afraid that this was a Hongmen banquet. He did not have the confidence to kill Lu Daochen. However, Lu Daochen also did not have the confidence to kill Ning Fan. Unless Lu Daochen is a fool, he would not be able to kill him in a single strike. This person would definitely not set up a banquet to ambush Ning Fan and do such a stupid thing. Moreover, the invitation had purposely mentioned that some people from the Pure Fire tribe would come to the county. What made Ning Fan particularly concerned was that Lu Daochen mentioned that there were 2 demon generals from the upper world who would come with the Pure Fire tribe. Jing Yun is not a person to be worried about. However, I don't know which 2 of the 10 Divine Transformation Realm demon generals from the upper world will come. If it's Wang Xiao, there will be many variables in this battle. If it's Li Ban, Ning Fan's eyes darkened. If Li Ban comes, I will definitely make sure that he won't be able to return alive. However, I'm afraid that even if Li Ban comes, he would not be able to see through my true appearance when I transform into Liu Bei. Otherwise, he would probably be greatly surprised. The worries in his heart had already disappeared after 3 days of dual cultivation. He calmly went out with 2 ladies, one purple and one red, following behind him. Both of them were Gold Core Realm demons. However, their chi had already recovered to the mid-Gold Core Realm. Their appearance was even more peerless. One of them was as cold as the wind, and her purple hair was calm, while the other had a charming smile on her face. While walking in the county's demon square, many demons would glance at the 2 ladies from time to time. There were even some playboys who wanted to strike up a conversation with them and rape them. However, when they noticed that the person in front of the 2 ladies was Liu Bei, who was famous throughout the Luo Yun continent, all the demons immediately shut up and left in a hurry. All the playboys swallowed their saliva and felt a chill in their hearts. They hurriedly retreated. The 3 heads of the demon generals had shattered young Master Tianming's Dao heart. This matter had already spread across the Luo Yun continent. With Ning Fan's current appearance being known to the entire Lu tribe, it would be difficult for him to keep a low profile. Of course, the one who spread the news was Liu Bei's appearance. In this way, it would save him a lot of trouble. At least, Ning Fan found it troublesome to deal with people like Lu Tianming every day, even though he did not put them in his eyes. Master, you really killed 3 Divine Transformation Realm experts. The tea girl's eyes were filled with excitement. Master will never lie. The Wind Girl seemed to have become Ning Fan's spokesperson. The 2 ladies regained their original appearance, and the knot in their hearts were also untied. Their temperament became much more cheerful. This time, Ning Fan brought the 2 ladies along to attend the banquet. After all, they were indeed from the ancient demon race. Bringing them along would not expose anything. Of course, Ning Fan was not afraid of exposing himself. If he met Li Ban, he did not know what he would think. Outside the prefecture, 13 rows of elite demon soldiers were inspecting the guests. All the influential people in the prefecture were invited to the banquet. Seeing a man and 2 ladies trespassing the prefecture, some of the demon soldiers immediately scolded them. Halt! However, when they saw the appearance of the newcomers, they immediately straightened their bodies and saluted. Greetings, Commander Lu. Lord Demon Sealer has ordered that if Commander Lu comes, he can directly enter the inner prefecture. There's no need to log in. Ning Fan's eyes swept across the crowd. Most of the people had to get off the carriage to be inspected regardless of whether they came by flying or by carriage. It was obvious that the security of this banquet was very strict. If it was just for him, it seemed to be a little too strict. Most likely, it was prepared for the demon generals of the upper world. He retracted his gaze and asked the demon soldier, "At this banquet, who are the people like me who can directly enter the inner palace?" In reply to Commander Lu's question, other than Commander Lu, the 4th General and 6th General, who were summoned back urgently, have also entered the prefecture. Apart from them, the demon concubine of the Misty Rain Tower and Miss One Air are also allowed to enter the prefecture directly. What about the Pure Flame Division? The Pure Flame Division? The demon soldier revealed a troubled expression. The specific guests of the Pure Flame Division were forbidden to be announced to anyone. It was a military order. He did not dare to disobey it. "All right, I got it." Ning Fan waved his hand and dismissed the demon soldiers. Then he directly entered the prefecture. As he had something to do, no one stopped him. Instead, someone immediately led the way when they saw Ning Fan. "Misty Rain Tower, Demon Concubine? Is this girl One Air's companion?" Demon Concubine, this girl's identity should not be simple. To be able to enter the prefecture directly, it means that in Lu Daochun's eyes, this girl is as important as me. As for the urgent summoning of the 4th and 6th General, it doesn't seem to be aimed at me. From the expression of the demon soldier, it seems like the Pure Cloud Division's intention isn't simple. Is the golden order to summon the generals to deal with the people of the Pure Flame Division? Ning Fan passed through the prefecture and stopped at the heavenly palace of the inner prefecture. There were 2 cloud beasts standing outside the palace. Although they were not true spirits, they were rare hybrid demons. The atmosphere in the palace was a little solemn. When Ning Fan swept his gaze across the hall, he was slightly surprised. There were only a few tens of people who were qualified to sit in the heavenly palace. Among them, Cloud General Lu Daochun was sitting on the main seat. As soon as he saw Ning Fan, he immediately stood up and greeted him with a smile. "Oh, Commander Lu is here. This old man has failed to welcome you. I hope Commander Lu can forgive me." "Not at all." Ning Fan cupped his fists and looked at the seats below Lu Daochun. There were 2 people sitting beside him. One of them had a red face and green armor, while the other had a black face and black armor. They were the 4th and 6th General of the Luo Yun sect, Lu Qing, and 6th General Lu Zhan respectively. The green-armored man with a red face was stroking his long beard while sizing up Ning Fan with his phoenix eyes. His chi was heavy and slightly weaker than Lu Sheng's. However, it was similar to Bai Yuan's. After taking a closer look at Ning Fan, he praised, "The younger generation will surpass us in time. I am not as good as you." On the other hand, the black-armored Lu Zhan, whose chi was weaker than Bai Yuan, became excited as soon as he saw Ning Fan. "You are Liu Bei who killed the 3 generals on your own. Good. Let's have a battle after the banquet." Ning Fan cupped his fists and did not say anything else. His gaze swept across the guest seats. Among the various faces, he immediately found Lu Wan, who was smiling sweetly. Beside her was a graceful and beautiful woman who was wearing a green feather robe. Judging from her appearance, she seemed to be around 24 or 25 years old. She had the charm of a mature woman. As soon as she saw Ning Fan, Luan stood up to greet him. As for the beautiful woman, she looked at Ning Fan meaningfully, as if she wanted to see the person in front of him clearly. "Is this woman the demon concubine?" Ning Fan's gaze continued to move. When his gaze fell on the person from the Pure Flame tribe, his face darkened. Demon General Pure Cloud is indeed this person. There were two people sitting beside him. One of them was a golden-armored demon general, while the other one was a red-haired man. When Ning Fan's eyes darkened, that person's eyes also turned gloomy. It was because he saw that the woman standing behind Ning Fan was actually his demon companion. Why is this general's companion demon here? Chapter 258. Just as Li Ban was about to question him, Jing Yun saw through his expression and held him back. General Li, the important matter is more important. Jing Yun advised him using telepathy. The matter of the world passage comes first. Li Ban withdrew his gaze. However, he was secretly observing Ning Fan with his spirit sense. He knew that this person was Liu Bei. Besides, he had already received the news that this person killed 3 Divine Transformation Realm experts alone. However, when he observed this person from a close distance, he felt that this person gave him a strange sense of familiarity. He's Zhou Ming. Impossible. Zhou Ming is just a harmonious spirit realm ant. Moreover, I destroyed the Grand Formation during the ancient teleportation formation and he died in the void. How could he have advanced from the harmonious spirit realm to the divine transformation realm in just a few decades? I don't believe it. However, how do you explain this demon companion and this familiar qi? Li Ban felt a little annoyed. Ning Fan, on the other hand, calmed his expression. After greeting the guests, he calmly sat beside Lu Wan. Inwardly he sneered. Li Ban is currently weaker than me. That's why he can't even see through my sense-concealing art. Since this person has come to Luo Yun with Jing Yun, he will most likely come to me in the future. There will be plenty of opportunities to kill this person. As for Lu Daochen, other than secretly exchanging glances with Ning Fan and nodding his head in a friendly manner, he went to greet the other guests. He did not talk to Ning Fan in detail and did not explain why he wanted to cooperate with Ning Fan. Most of the guests who could enter Luo Yun Palace were late nascent soul realm cultivators and influential forces. As maids, the Wind Lady and the Tea Lady naturally did not have a seat. They sat at the side and poured wine for Ning Fan. On his right was Lu Wan, while on his left was the green-robed demon concubine. Seeing the two ladies serving Ning Fan, Lu Wan frowned. With her woman's intuition, she could tell that the relationship between the two ladies and Ning Fan was not simple. They are concubine? Ning Fan smiled without hiding anything. There were some things that he had to tell Lu Wan bit by bit. Oh, Lu Wan seemed a little disappointed. It was not the fact that Ning Fan had a concubine but the fact that he did not tell her about it and kept a mistress all by himself. That's right. Liu Bei had harmed many women in the past because he was a playboy. She quickly regained her spirit and smiled again. Then, she introduced the green-robed demon concubine to him. This is the Misty Rain Pavilion's courtesan queen, Yao Fei. She is my only friend in the prefectural city. Back then, when Lu Tianming's soldiers surrounded the Misty Rain Pavilion and forced me into a marriage, it was this sister Yao Fei who helped me escape the prefecture. Besieging the Misty Rain Tower. Ning Fan frowned. He did not know that Lu Tianming had done such a despicable thing. If he knew this, he would have killed this person even if Lu Daochen tried to stop him. However, out of Ning Fan's expectation, Lu Tianming actually did not show up at such an important banquet. Half of it was because he was severely injured by him, and the other half was because he was afraid of him and did not dare to show up in front of him anymore. What a slippery fellow. He had not been a hedonistic son for hundreds of years for nothing. The moment he sensed danger, he slipped away. That's not the point. Lu Wana rolled her eyes at Ning Fan. The disappointment she felt just now had completely vanished. She felt both angry and touched at the same time. Liu Bei was furious because he had been wronged. So this is the Liu Bei that Sister Wana praised so highly. He is indeed extraordinary. Even with Sister's cultivation base, I can't see through him. Sister, you are just a late nascent soul realm cultivator. Of course, you can't see through him. Besides, when did I praise him? You're still denying it. These few days, Didn't you tell sister that if I can marry Liu Bei, I won't die in vain? I didn't say that. Lu Wanner's face turned red. Then, she began to play with the demon concubine across Ning Fan. As for Ning Fan, his brows furrowed imperceptibly and then relaxed. In this banquet, there were not many people who could make him pay attention to them. The fourth general of the Luo Yun tribe, Lu Qing, and the sixth general, Lu Zhan, were not worth fearing. The three generals of the Pure Fire tribe, Jing Yun, Li Ban, and another demon general were all at the early divine transformation realm. As for the other nascent soul realm guests, they were even less of a threat to him. The first person he paid attention to was Lu Daochen. Although he was a mid-divine transformation realm cultivator, his combat power was probably unparalleled among the other mid-divine transformation realm cultivators. Rumor has it that he was a titled demon general who was bestowed the title of Cloud. Moreover, he had inherited the power of bestowment of a cloud attribute ability. If he uses the power of bestowment, he could fight against a late divine transformation realm cultivator within a short period of time. The other person he paid attention to was the demon concubine who was standing beside him. The chi that she revealed was at the late nascent soul realm. However, she was actually at the late divine transformation realm. This woman's identity was indeed not simple. She was only a late divine transformation realm cultivator, and she was not a demon general or a titled demon general. However, she was able to stay in the Luo Yun province. Would a late divine transformation realm old monster become a courtesan in a brothel? Besides, this woman obviously still had her primordial Yin. What kind of place is the Misty Rain Pavilion? I can see that Lady Demon Concubine is still a virgin. You seem to be quite extraordinary to be able to keep your chastity in a brothel. Ning Fan drank a mouthful of wine and asked, "Of course. You don't know that the ladies of the Misty Rain Pavilion only sell their skills but not their bodies. They only play the zither and sing and dance in the Misty Rain Pavilion. Especially Sister Demon Concubine of the Misty Rain Pavilion. When she plays the zither, she has to hide half of her face behind a curtain. It's not easy for you to see her face." Lu Wan was afraid that Ning Fan would look down on the demon concubine. Is that so? The Misty Rain Pavilion is a brothel. To think that the profligate cultivators of the prefectures wouldn't dare to touch it. As the master of the Misty Rain Pavilion, Lady Demon Concubine is quite extraordinary. Young Master Lu, you flatter me. Even in a place higher, no one dares to touch the ladies of my Misty Rain Pavilion. I see. Ning Fan's eyes narrowed. This demon concubine is hiding in this place. It turns out that she is someone from the higher realm. The higher realm here naturally refers to the demon spirit land of the heavenly demon world. From her tone, the Misty Rain Pavilion seems to be similar to the Godly Void Pavilion and the Lost World Palace in the demon spirit land. Then, this woman is staying here to recruit powerful immemorial demon veins just like Little Demoness and Bei Xiaoman? This woman did not hide her identity. She even purposely revealed a trace of her chi to me. Could it be that she wants to recruit me? However, there is something strange. If the Misty Rain Pavilion is a great force similar to the Godly Void Pavilion and the Lost World Palace, it is impossible for Lu Wan and the other ancient demons to not know about it. It seems that this Misty Rain Pavilion is different from the Godly Void Pavilion. Young Master Lu, do you have the intention to ascend? The demon concubine asked without leaving any trace. If I have the intention to ascend to the demon spirit land, could it be that Lady Demon Concubine will give me a quota? That would depend on whether young master is willing to abide by the rules and become a demon. Ning Fan remained silent. This demon concubine's words were full of hidden meanings which confirmed half of his guess. This person really has the quota to ascend to the demon spirit land. As for the last sentence of this woman, it was a vague threat. It seemed like she had already seen through his identity as a human. It was not strange. Even Lu Daochen could see through it. Liu Bei's identity could not be hidden in front of people like Lu Daochen. Ning Fan did not need to hide it either. Before entering the second world, his strength was not sufficient and he still had some concerns. Now that he had achieved the second blood awakening realm, his strength had skyrocketed. He was more than capable of protecting himself in the second world. Even if Li Ban comes knocking on his door, he would not be afraid. Moreover, once he carves the spiritual seal on his Fu Li demon wings, his speed would be comparable to a late divine transformation realm expert. He would not be afraid even if he goes against Wang Xiao. Lu Wan did not fully understand their conversation, but she did not care about it. She only felt relieved when she saw Ning Fan's gaze towards the demon concubine. There was no flirtatious or covetous look in his eyes. As the time for the host and guests was almost up, the banquet finally began. Plates of delicacies were continuously served to the guests. However, before they moved their chopsticks, Demon General Jing Yun of the Pure Flame tribe stood up. He cupped his fists towards Lu Daochen with a serious expression. Those who knew the true purpose of this banquet put down their wine cups and put on a serious expression. The crucial moment is about to arrive. If the negotiation fails, the 3 generals of the Pure Flame tribe would probably fight against the 3 generals of the Luo Yun tribe. General Jing Yun, it seems like you have something to say? But please just say it. Lu Daochen chuckled. His half-closed eyes were completely opened. An honest man will not beat around the bush. I came here for one thing, the world passage of the third world. General Jing, please hand over the world passage and follow my Pure Flame tribe to welcome the Demon Marshal's awakening. How dare you? Jing Yun, you little brat. How dare you speak arrogantly in front of me, the Luo Yun tribe's Demon Marshal? You're courting death. The black-armored Lu Zhan straightened his beard. He patted his storage pouch and a large halberd appeared in his hand. He was ready to attack. In the dark, dozens of black-armored nascent soul realm cultivators were holding their nascent breaking crossbows and aiming at Jing Yun. Jing Yun's eyes darkened and he sneered. The demon general of the upper world is here. Lu Daochen, how dare you shoot? Do you want to be banished by the heavenly demon realm forever like Demon Marshal Lu Wu? You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.